Hello, listening people.
Hello.
You're listening to Spin Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Sliwinski.
And I am Bartek.
Hello, Bartek. How are you?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
I am very well. We're doing our show Unappreciated Masterpieces, so I'm feeling very excited. Very excited to present feature-length audio commentaries for movies that seemingly don't deserve a commentary track. Movies that society has shunned. They've pointed their finger and said, no, 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 and we say, yes, yes, yes.
We do that because we are always spitting and we both happen to be Polish.
Exactly. Oh, is that why we're called that? Spit in Polish?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Fun fact.
We spit.
Trivia section. On episode 152 or 53 or whatever we're at, they revealed the reason why they're called Spit in Polish Presents.
Oh, after all this time, it's been like the biggest struggle. It's like,
well, this is only one of our first episodes we've ever recorded, but we're releasing it really late.
Yeah, really late. Yeah, really late. Yeah, this is like an archived episode. Now, we need to know. I need to know. The audience, the listening people, and the ghosts of future and the past and the present.
Could I immediately ask you a question?
Oh, okay.
Who doesn't need to know?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question, and there is no answer to that. It's a mysterious answer. Maybe if we archive that answer and answer in the future, maybe there'll be an answer by then. But in the present day, we don't have the facts.
By next episode, we'll forget because it's not going to be an archive episode.
Oh, we'll remember next week. Next episode, you'll ask me again, and I'm like, Bartek, that was like 4 years ago. How am I supposed to remember?
At the end of this episode, the gag should be like a preview for the next episode.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes.
Now, Bartek, what's the movie we're watching for this episode?
Oh, you want the
mystery
title?
Box. Oh, yeah. No, I want you to present me the feature film reel of this movie, and I'll just plug it in and we'll project it, and I'll be like, I wonder what movie it is, and then I have to guess till the title comes up.
You know how there are those people that can interpret senses with different ones, like they can smell words and stuff like that?
Oh, yes, yes.
I can give you that. I can give you the vocals of everything this film is.
Okay. I'm prepped. Oh, Temptation!
That's every
marriage counselor.
No, it's yes, it is. But I got a Polish title. How do I do the gag?
Bartek, was that Polish you just spoke?
No, that was a full feature film in voice. Did you not hear the part where the lighting was good?
No. If you rewind it, you can hear Bartek warning us. It's like, watch out. So Bartek, what's Temptation? Confessions of a Marriage Counselor in Polish?
I don't know, literally, because the Polish title is Zakazane Pagd. I fucked up.
Is that the title?
No,
Zac Efron? I fucked up.
Zakazane Pragnienia.
Was it?
Zakazane Pragnienia.
And that's Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor from, what year was it?
2013.
Wow, we all knew each other by then, so we didn't have an excuse not to see it.
I don't think I knew Sorab.
Shut up, we haven't introduced our guest yet. It may be Sorab.
I was just bringing up a random person, Ryan.
Right.
Jesus.
Our good friend Sorab. Yeah. So what does that translate into literally? Literally.
I can't remember the first adjective there. Well, the only adjective actually, but the other word means desires, so it's something like illicit desires or
okay, real Polish listeners, translate that for us, because apparently our expert here doesn't know Polish. Usually it's me, but it's Bartek this episode.
Fuck you.
So Sorab is our guest. Hi Sorab,
Hey,
lovely to hear you laughing in Glee.
Well, you guys are just so funny.
Yes,
almost as funny as the TV show Glee.
I never watched Glee.
Wow, you're really missing out. Jane Lynch.
No, I like Jane Lynch.
We all like Jane Lynch.
Is Glee known for being funny?
Oh!
I didn't know. That's true, actually. I didn't know it was a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Is it?
Is
it meant to be a comedy?
I know it is meant to be a comedy.
I know it's a
I mean,
comedy,
Jane Lynch is the comedic aspect.
Well, that's true. She is. Yeah, she's a comedian.
And they sing songs. That's funny.
Absolutely. Whenever I'm driving in my car listening to music, I'm just in stitches.
No, that's different. That's music itself. When you see a movie or show to it, it's hilarious.
Right. Yeah. No.
When I saw A Star Is Born, tears running down my face from laughter. I'm like, you're right. She does have a big nose. Sing about it.
Does she sing about the big nose?
I mean, isn't that what Lady Gaga's songs are all about? Isn't that what Disco Stick is about?
Oh, you think disco stick was a metaphor for her nose?
No, it was.
I think it was a metaphor for some other body part.
It was a simile for her nose.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Bartek, we're doing Confessions of a Marriage Counselor from 2013.
Not A Star Is Born?
No, and actually, correction. It's Tyler Perry's Temptation: Confessions of a Marriage Counselor.
Yeah,
because the movie
you make this movie.
make sure that you know it's from a TP
gotta be proud of
Productions.
it.
Tyler Perry Productions.
Yeah. I mean,
Bartek's
let's be-
looking
let's be-
mystified right now.
No.
Let's
just-
be real. If any one of us made this movie, we'd be so proud that we'd want to put our name in front
Well,
of
if
it
I
as
was
well.
Tyler Perry, I'd be
Come on.
proud.
No. I was
But pride's a sin, and he's not all for that. So, guys, you have to have your copy of Tyler Perry's Temptation: Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, not to get that confused with Ricardo Montalban's Temptation: Confessions of a Marriage
I
Counselor,
actually
Or
like that one
Confessions
better.
of a Shopaholic. which
or
we've done.
Confessions of a Shopaholic, which we've already done. Great movie.
To be fair,
Isla
she
Fisher,
was-
call me.
She was also being tempted in that film.
By a marriage counselor. You're right. So, guys, get your copy of this movie. I'm going to do a countdown from 3 and go down to 1. I'm going to say play. You're going to press play, and hopefully we'll be lined up as we speak about the masterclass of cinema that is Tyler Perry's Temptation: Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. So get ready, because we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1, play. So, Sorab,
Yes.
why didn't you see this in the cinema when it came out?
Did it get a wide release in
I mean, it's
Australia?
a Tyler Perry movie.
Did
I
it?
imagine it gets a wide release in every cinema available in any
Right.
country.
I guess when it came out in 2013.
Yeah, we were,
Well,
we were at uni.
We were at uni. We were very busy when we were. At
Well,
uni.
you weren't.
That's also true.
I think it was at that point you had kind of dropped out a little bit.
I think I had actually
So-
in 2013. So you're
so
right.
you
I
had-
have no excuse for not seeing this movie.
So that's Confessions of Sorab.
yeah,
Wasn't that the year that you did Uncle Vanya?
No, that was 2012.
First
I,
year?
I can't believe you remember that.
That was
better than I
first
do.
year. That
no,
was first
no,
year.
no.
That was
not-
first year.
It was definitely not.
Yeah, that was
first year.
first year. That was first year.
It
Yeah.
definitely was.
It was definitely first year because that was when I was doing The Innocents. We all had to do.
that first year, did we?
Yeah, but that was all we had to do. Adaptations of things.
No, because I already knew.
First year
I
was
did it with
postmodern
Alistair, and
drama.
I already knew Alistair before that.
So, listening people,
I think
if
it was
you're
second
really,
year.
really keen on knowing
actually, I
about
think it
our
was the
drama
year that
history.
this came out.
So, guys,
Alistair's been on the show, so it's
what
fine.
did you think of the letter O and
Yeah,
how
I
it
was wondering
appeared
about
and
that.
disappeared? Also, Kim Kardashian, people.
She's the standout. in
What a
this
hero!
movie. She's
What a,
incredible.
almost
Sorry,
as good
yes.
as Vanessa Williams.
Both of them. you
I
know.
do. So I just want to note this woman has short hair.
Yes.
Just want to note that. The marriage counselor in question.
Remember that for the next 2 hours.
Remember that
Yes,
for a
please remember
very
that for
long
the next 2
time.
hours.
Now, Bartek, what was your excuse for not seeing this in the cinema? Because Sorab had dropped out of university. That was his excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he proceeded not to be in the same year as us, which was mainly a detriment to our year because we needed good actors and we didn't have them. But,
Apologies.
many apologies. But, Bartek, what was your excuse for not seeing this in the cinema?
I've got 2. First,
Two?
I was still thinking about Uncle Vanya, and 2. Fun fact: I walked in late.
Oh, you walked
That
in-
was you? No, I'm joking. I don't remember. any
I
of
was
that.
very subtle about it. No one saw me.
No one remembers Uncle Vanya outside of our friend Will's performance.
He was amazing.
Vanya!
He was incredible.
And your performance, Sorab,
Oh,
as Vanya,
I
because you
appreciate
played
that,
it
thank you.
deadly serious.
I did,
And then,
yeah.
then Will would literally be in the same scene as you, and he'd be like, Vanya,
But it
what are
was
you
great.
doing? And you're like, what am I doing? My character's existential dread. And he's just like, Vanya, 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 it's me.
I feel like I was complimenting his performance. I'm being the
So,
straight man.
You're
to
being the
his-
straight man.
yeah.
You're being the Tyler Perry
Yes,
to
exactly.
Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage
Yes, I
Counselor.
am. Yes.
So
exactly
what was your
right.
second reason, buddy?
I'm not sure if I knew who Tyler Perry was at that point.
Oh, you're right. For mainly us, I reckon, we wouldn't have known about him till 2014, 15, whenever Gone Girl, came out.
Yeah.
I definitely had heard his name before, but that was just because some people online had reviewed some of the Medea films.
I was gonna say you hadn't seen Medea, those brilliant movies.
I haven't seen
Have
any
you?
of them. No.
I actually haven't. No.
Oh, I was going to
I was
ask,
joking.
guys, what's your history with Tyler Perry as a filmmaker himself?
This.
This?
Yeah,
You haven't
I
seen
don't think
Medea?
I've seen. No, I haven't seen any of the Medea movies. I really, I mean, I knew who he was, and I knew who he was when he was in Gone Girl, but I'd never seen anything he'd done.
Wow.
That's basically me too.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
disappointing, guys. I've seen Gone Girl. I thought he was great as the lawyer guy.
He was
was,
great. Actually. I
yeah.
love that. Yeah, it was
We'll
great.
get into that at some point. But I had seen one of the Medea movies, and I cannot tell you which one because they all blend together,
How
apparently.
many are there? There's quite
There's
a
like
few.
15.
Like genuinely,
I think there's
a lot.
I think there's more than that.
There's probably I wouldn't.
There is a
deny
joke with
that.
the Madea movies where it's like they're supposed to be comedies, but they're more melodramas, and the comedy is just like a side aspect, but they're billed as comedies.
Right.
And there's a joke that if you had a movie called Madea Goes to Hell, it would spend 5 minutes in hell and the other 95 minutes with a man beating his wife.
Is that a trope that we're gonna find in all of Tyler Perry's movies?
Oh, there's many tropes we'll get into
Okay.
that I am aware of, because a lot of the information I have Tyler Perry I get from film reviews as well, mainly Double Toasted, who used to also be Spill.com, and they're like these middle-aged black guys who review a lot of all these movies, but they love reviewing Tyler Perry movies and talking about it as black people watching this black man's movies that just go off the gauntlet of crazy town. But I chose this movie for us to do because I thought it would be too easy to do a Madea movie in terms of they are popular, they are very successful.
I think
Tyler Perry's a successful filmmaker.
Well, I think this is his most successful movie
Oh, you don't
financially.
Oh,
I mean.
not Boo, a Madea Halloween.
No, I think because
Or
I was
Boo
curious
2?
about this movie. I looked it up afterwards. I think it was his most successful.
At this time. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I think so. Yeah.
So I chose this because I love doing erotic thrillers on the show, or erotic dramas, and I really was keen on knowing what Tyler Perry would offer to that genre, because Tyler Perry is known for being a good Christian boy who inserts a lot of Christian messages and characters into his films.
love that you said that just as the characters.
Oh,
exit
I was
the church.
waiting. I was
You were
waiting.
You were waiting. Okay.
When we watched this last night, my fiance said out loud, "Why are there so many white people at this wedding? Who do they know in this black town that's white?" And it's a good question. And I said Tyler wanted to represent.
I thought you were going to say she...
Yeah.
Tyler's up for representation of whites.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm up for.
That endangered minority in film.
Especially in the South.
Yeah, exactly.
So, France. They moved to France. It's it's established. Bartek's looking and he's looking puzzled. He's like, "That's not France."
I was wondering what made you say France.
It's a joke. It's clearly Washington D.C.
Yeah, I know it's Washington D.C., but what was the cleverness of the
Oh,
joke?
the White House.
Oh.
You see, the French are known for exporting things over to America, like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I know that one.
And I guess...
Is there another one that they exported over?
Yeah, diplomacy.
Oh, right, of course.
Democracy, I should say.
Were you talking about like the Spire or something? Whatever it's
The
called?
Spire, the Clinton Spire.
Is that what it's called?
It's in
The
Futurama.
Washington
It's
Monument?
in
Is that what you're talking
Futurama. It's called the Clinton Spire or Monument because Clinton has a dick. That's a
As
joke.
opposed to all the other
Talking
presidents
about dicks, hey, it's our girl Kim Kardashian here.
What a dick.
What a segue. Wow.
She's known for a sex tape.
She is known for a sex tape. Have you seen that photo? It's a Kanye concert, and it's like this massive crowd, and someone's printed a banner, and it's a screenshot of Kim Kardashian. I think she's sucking Ray J's dick, and it's just this giant screenshot held up for Kanye on stage.
Do you think Kanye appreciated it?
I think, honestly, I think his ego is so big, he probably didn't even care.
He's like, that's my dick.
Yeah.
How
he
did
was
they get a
probably just
picture
like,
of it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, here's the thing. I really love doing these erotic thrillers on the show because they operate in a different world to normal movies, right? Like, you know, you could come here with your film critic brain and be like, with any erotic thriller, well, the logic of this thing and and see, you have to take that away. It's like superhero movies. The
Yeah,
superhero
you have to
movies
suspend
operate
disbelief.
in a different world of logic. Unless you're really boring and you want to be like, we're the real world,
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
oh, okay, calm down, Zach.
Yeah.
And then you know you have erotic thrillers where they operate in their own world. But then I was really keen. Bartek, we've done a bunch of erotic thrillers. They operate in their own world, and we've even done subgenres of erotic thrillers with black erotic thrillers.
Most of them have been black erotic
Screen
thrillers,
gems. And then I really wanted to see if we could delve into the erotic thriller world that's also Tyler Perry land. Because Tyler
Is this
Perry
a subgenre of a subgenre?
is a subgenre within a subgenre. Because Tyler Perry operates in his own weird universe of rules and logic, and I want to see how he would operate with those rules and logic within the rules and logic of erotic thrillers and dramas. And I think he did a fantastic job, Bartek.
Well, Ryan, despite the fact that this is unappreciated masterpieces where we do the films that seemingly don't deserve audio commentaries, I have to shock you and say I agree.
Oh, wow, thank you. How aroused were you guys while watching this?
Less than I thought I'd be.
Well, that's unfair, but
I'm just saying.
I'll take it.
I'm just saying.
What part aroused you?
Right now, that walk that Vanessa Williams just did was stunning.
That was a walk.
It was a walk and a half, wasn't it?
In fact, it was a saunter. She
sauntered, yeah.
And that's what Vanessa Williams is all about.
Mhm.
I think I've seen her in a few things.
Right.
And I looked her up and I'm like, oh, yes, I have. I've seen Eraser
Yeah.
with Schwarzenegger.
With Schwarzenegger.
Where she had the verse
That's
crocodiles.
a good movie. I enjoyed that
She had
movie.
the verse crocodiles.
Yeah.
And
My favorite part of that movie is there's a moment where like the director of whatever the made up intelligence agency that he works for gives him 3 licenses to check.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even look at the backs. He just puts them down, runs his fingers over the top of them and goes, "This one's the fake." I love it. I love it. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite moments ever.
It's probably real.
That's
what we need to
exactly
do.
what happened.
So yeah, Tyler Perry's an auteur filmmaker that is looked down upon, but yet he's very successful and has been in critically acclaimed things like Gone Girl and recently Vice.
Was he in Vice?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Vice.
He plays Powell, something Powell. I can't remember. I don't know
Colin
American.
Powell?
Yeah, Colin Powell.
I didn't know Colin Powell was black.
With a name like that, do you think he's white?
Yeah.
Really?
Is his name Colin?
No,
Or was it?
Colin.
Colin.
Like
I think it's spelt
butthole.
Colin, but he pronounces it colon.
Like a bum hole.
Yeah.
Like the colon.
Colon?
I guess so. I'm not an
don't
expert.
know.
I just told you he was in Vice, an Oscar-nominated film.
Yeah.
But then you said with a name like that, and
Oh yeah, well it sounds not like a white guy's name.
does it sound distinctly black?
No,
Well,
it doesn't.
American black.
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't know what it
Powell?
sounds like.
Pal, are you kidding
Powell.
me?
Well, I mean, the only other Powell I know of, actually, I'm going to shoot my argument down here, is from Die Hard, and he was black.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
Case closed. It's like saying, CCH Pounder? That's a white lady's name. It's
Best Amanda Waller ever.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was in...
She was in the animated cartoon.
Oh, right. I thought she should have been in the live action.
No, I like
movie.
Viola Davis, but CCH Pounder.
Viola
she's amazing.
Davis has one skill, which is she knows how to make snot come out of her nose when she needs to
She can
get
snot
Oscar
cry. It's
nominated.
incredible.
So can we please talk about the legendary character actress here, that is Renée Taylor, who is best known as Nanny Fine's mother in The Nanny?
Oh, is that who she is? Okay.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's Nanny Fine's... Did you watch The Nanny?
Yes, a few
She's
times.
her
My
mother.
mother used to love it, yeah.
Well, that's the mother there,
Well,
and
there
she
you
loves
go.
being in Tyler Perry.
She does kind of look like the mom of Fran Drescher, I will say.
Yeah. So I was very shocked to see her, because at first I got thrown off. I'm like, I know this woman from 80s, 90s sitcoms. And I was like, it's not Doris Roberts from
No.
Everybody Loves Raymond. No. We've already had her on Dickie Roberts, so she's not allowed to come back.
Dickie Roberts.
And I'm like,
It's a great movie.
well, who is she? And then my fiance went, it's Nanny Fine's mom. And I'm like, of course!
There you go.
Of course! How did I not pick up on that? Because in The Nanny, she's made up to be a lot older than she actually is. As
Right, okay.
happens with a lot of things,
So
like the Golden
so
Girls.
she's made
like
up to look older in the Nanny.
yeah, because she's supposed to be like an age.
So this is her actually old. Does she
Yeah.
look like she did back then, made up to be old?
Slightly. Like, she has more defined creases on the cheeks, but kinda, and she's a bit tubbier, but like, you know,
Right.
like in the face, or a bit rounder in the face, I should say. But like, yeah, it's like, you know, that happens. Like Golden Girls, you had Sophia, and she was like younger than, I think, the one she was supposed to be the mother of,
Yeah.
and all that. So you get that kind of thing. Now, Bartek, when you entered into this film, what were you expecting? What were you led into? What were your vibes?
This is one that I hadn't heard of outside of you telling me about it. And it was also a title that I struggled to remember because it's too...
Freaking huge. It's a long
It's like a
title.
Fall Out Boy song.
Even...
There's some long titles, it's true.
I mean, I was saying that it is huge, but then I remember we've done Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day on this show.
Which, yeah, that we did do that. That had Jennifer Garner and
It was
Steve Carell.
Yeah, with this, it was mainly the fact that it's like two nouns at the very beginning close to each other, and they're both pretty big. So it's like temptation, confessions, and it's like, is it temptations, confession? Is it, which one's the
And
plural?
then you have to chuck in Tyler Perry's.
And there is a...
Yeah, you
And
can
then,
remember that.
and then there's that thing that we were talking about earlier, colon is in there, temptation colon.
Colon, yeah.
Pal.
And
Colon.
and from there I was like, oh well, colon, so it's black, yeah, obviously.
Well,
Black film.
well, we don't have white colons.
No, white people would be Colin.
No, I'm talking about like the symbol.
The grammatical symbol.
Yeah, it's black.
Well, I guess just because paper's white.
Yeah.
There's black paper.
I got you. And you can't see him.
Yeah, no.
It could be a lot of grammar in there. But Bartek,
Little
you weren't
fun
too sure what
facts.
you were getting into. Your little fun fact?
Oh, printers don't have white ink.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
It's also like how white and black aren't colours.
Yeah.
They're not on the Roy G. Biv.
No, they're
So, everybody knows. This guy, sorry, he's smiling and I'm smiling now.
His smile is infectious. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's like a virus. Foreshadowing. I'm foreshadowing there. Bartek, so you weren't too sure what you were getting into. You had a bit of trouble remembering the title and kind of that, but you did know it was an erotic thriller. I thought I brought that up a lot.
You did. And when the film began, it came back to me like, oh yes, Ryan was telling me this is an erotic thriller.
And to give a bit of context, I was talking to you yesterday and our other friend Reese about Tyler Perry and how he's like a good Christian boy, and he then randomly makes erotic thrillers. So how did it feel to see a good Christian boy try and give the audience a boner?
Was he trying to?
I don't think he was. I think he was trying to discourage the audience from getting a boner.
No, I think he was. I think he was with scenes like him with his top off, running in the woods.
The whole message of the movie.
No, I know the message, but most erotic thrillers have that message. Like most
not
erotic...
Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct is, hey, she's a crazy. Oh, Basic Instinct. So I was gonna say Fatal Attraction.
No.
Basic Instinct is bitch be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, don't trust hoes, man. And this is like, don't trust male hoes.
No, but at the end of Basic Instinct, they're together. So the message
I'm
is,
sorry. I'm thinking
trust her.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Basic Instinct 2.
I haven't seen the sequel. I didn't know there was a sequel.
It came out like 25 years later.
There's a sequel to Basic Instinct?
Yeah.
No shit.
It's terrible.
I can imagine.
But, most erotic thrillers have that aspect, like Fatal Attraction, which is, don't cheat around, or this is this. They're morality tales told through eroticism on a level most of the time, like Boy Next Door. Don't cheat with the underage boy next door, or else Wild Things, and, a lot of them. And that's why. But yet they're supposed to still be arousing on a level. So they're supposed to be still titillating, and there's a titillation to this, which is, people in long-term monogamous relationships do have those kind of, ponderings of the mind, like it's a human nature. So that's what this film's exploring, but he's using his Christian point of view, which is God will strike you down.
He will smite you.
He will smite and smote you good.
Smite and smote.
I can't remember. Yeah, smote's a term.
I think that's the past tense of smite.
So he smote her.
Yes, that would be the past tense.
Yeah, well, this is a story told in
I
media.
will smite you. But this is I did smote her.
But this is a story told in media res, so he did smote her.
Yes, he did.
So there you go. But yeah, so
she was smitten.
I found it very interesting. Come on, that was good. High five.
That was very good. Well done.
I found this story very interesting on that level of how he's going to present this erotic thriller with those Christian values, and he did it very well. Like, I think the idea of, like, she's got a very nice, supportive husband. Yeah, he forgets her birthday, but he's fit and he's supportive and he's nice, and they've known each other since they're children. But you kind of understand where she's coming from, where she's at a job where she's getting judged all the time by Kim Kardashian. Can you imagine that?
Being judged by Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, can you imagine? You're walking into your office, your husband's just forgotten your birthday, and she's just saying, Sorab, you don't have a nice sweater on today.
Dead on impression, by the way.
Because Kim Kardashian has a certain vocal quality that makes you forget that she's actually speaking a language, and you could just understand her from vocal oscillations, like
hi. Everything is upward inflected, like
an Australian.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's Aussie. We knew it. So I was very keen on seeing how arousing this movie would be. And I think I appreciate the fact that it wasn't trying to be as explicit as other movies that we've done on the show and other movies in general. Like, it cut away tastefully. Yeah, it lingered on the moments correctly. And it didn't feel like it was exploiting the actors at any point. Like, there are movies that obviously do that for good and bad. Like, obviously, like, there's movies like we explain, like, like J-Lo, she's a sexy lady. So, when they hire J-Lo in Boy Next Door, it's kind of exploiting the audience, being like, we all know how sexy J-Lo is, so we're gonna use that. Like, here she is just wearing a shirt in this scene and nothing else. Like,
and that was kind of what I was, I guess, hinting at when I was asking if this is an erotic thriller. Like, maybe a better question would be, do you think people would use this film as a sort of, like, I guess, escape fantasy. Like, with The Boy Next Door, it is about, like, teacher sleeping with a student, but it's, hot teacher, hot, student, so it's like, you could watch it, it's like, oh, this is fiction, I'll enjoy this, this could be arousing.
My retort to you is that film only had one sex scene, which we didn't see anything of, and this film has technically multiple sex scenes, in which we don't see fully everything. We have one on an airplane, we have one in a bathtub, we have one in a car,
Oh yeah, I forgot about the one in the car. Yeah.
We have multiple sex scenes, although they're not explicit. While The Boy Next Door had one sex scene that was semi-explicit, but you didn't see anything.
Yes, but do you get anything out of these sex scenes, is what I'm asking.
Somewhat. I thought the car one was pretty good.
Car was okay.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, I'm saying that this film isn't focusing on that. It's more the idea. The idea of being tempted by
temptation.
Man.
This
I
is
agree,
Tyler
and that's...
Perry's 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, this is his cautionary tale to any woman who's bored in her relationship.
Yeah, who's that's it. Or couples in general, and this is what I think makes it does go into the erotic thrilling zone, because even though the sex scenes themselves aren't arousing, it's more what people get out of 50 Shades of Grey. It's more the idea of being taken away by a rich playboy and your life is shaken up, and that can be arousing, and
right,
and the temptation and the fact that she's being naughty, that she's going against what her
Absolutely.
mother wants, what he wants, and it's all that
Absolutely.
is very arousing in both in multiple ways, including sexually.
That being said, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen it, but I'm quite certain 50 Shades of Grey has very explicit sex scenes.
But most people who are real people don't find any of those scenes actually that arousing.
No, that's fair enough.
What people and most women find, I've heard, is what's more arousing about that is just their relationship of, all the traveling and the clothes and the yard and
Which this movie in a brilliant montage
does
accentuates very well.
And with 50 Shades of Grey, and not this one, but 50 Shades of Grey does also the thing that a lot of these type of movies directed at women do, which is turning the bad boy good. That's very arousing.
And also, let's not forget that started as a fan fiction, and fan
fan
tends
fiction
to have very
of Twilight,
well,
that's
explicit
what-
intentions. Yeah.
So, can we please talk about how this actor looks exactly like a reptile? He looks like, you remember?
He is very
Have
reptilian.
you seen Conan the Barbarian?
Of course.
Have you seen that scene? You remember that scene where James Earl Jones turns into a snake? That's him. That's him. And here's the thing. I said this, and last night I was watching this with my former housemate and my fiance, and former housemate got it. He's like, yeah, he looks exactly like a lizard.
Yeah.
Some kind of lizard. And then my fiance goes, I don't see it. I don't see how he looks like a lizard. He just looks like a normal guy. And then when he took his top off, she just went, oh, he's a lizard. This guy's
I love
a
that
fucking
that's what
lizard.
clinched it for her.
And no joke, I can't stop myself with this. I'm gonna be making lots of comments about how he's some kind of reptile. Like, there's a bit when they're in the airplane and he's just like, he points behind him, and I was just like, hey, if you're hungry, we got some tasty insects over there. Like, there's a lot of this. So it's like, are you feeling? It's like, are you okay? Do you need some warmth? Just, cold blood, all this stuff. I was just like, this guy looks like a fucking reptile.
It's by design. It's got to be by design.
Nature designed him that way.
No, I mean, like, Tyler Perry hiring the guy that looks like a lizard to play this role. And I don't want to spoil anything for the people watching.
But he is a lizard.
Yeah.
It's revealed that he has...
snake-like.
Like, when he took off his shirt, I'm like, God, he looks like he has scales. Like, he's some kind of...
Looks like he has scales.
Some kind of serpent from hell. And it's like the temple veins on his head, and then once you look at him more, he has more and more throbbing veins on his body. It's like, oh God, no. It's like those eyes. It's the eyes and the weird shaped head.
Yeah.
Hey, the pharmacy soda store.
I believe it said
Like
pharmacy
all-
and soda fountain.
The pharmacy and soda fountain. Yum yum.
course.
When I'm getting prescription drugs, I also want a soda.
I need a soda. How am
I
I
need
going
me
to
a
take the
soda-
tablets
soda pop.
without anything to drink?
Now, Bartek, you've seen Sorab leave my house many times. Have you ever been worried that when he put a hood on, that he's in trouble?
I don't think I've ever seen Sorab wear a hood.
Then he's never been in trouble. Hashtag confirm, no trouble Sorab.
Yep.
Sorab, have you ever seen Bartek leave and put a hood on, and have you been worried?
Have I ever left before you?
That's true. I don't think
I mean,
he's
we
ever
went to
left
university
before me.
together, so you might have left before him.
No, probably.
I didn't really know Sorab that well.
Tough shit.
But,
Have you ever seen Sorab wear a hood? Have you ever seen Bartek wear a hood?
I don't think I've ever seen Bartek wear a hood.
Well, that's
I don't wear it
okay.
too often.
We're all confirmed to be okay. I've worn hoods,
we're
but
missing,
I'm a dark spirit.
I will say, we're missing
is
my
a
favorite
great
part of
joke.
the movie.
Everything with her was great.
Look at her face. It's just hilarious. She's
She's
brilliant.
She's a comedic
brilliant.
gem. I enjoyed that scene earlier where she thinks she's a lesbian, and then he's just like, really? And then she's like joking, like, oh, I don't think she's attracted to me, and all that. I thought, hey, Tyler, that's genuinely funny and genuinely charming. I was actually smiling.
And it wasn't just a conceptual joke that existed in that one scene too.
No, it
'Cause
follows
comes
on.
back.
Yeah, it's a setup for a lot.
Guys,
A line gets punched.
Guys, but Brandy, she's not okay. She lives in an apartment that's dimly lit.
I also love that when she came home, she's like looking every single way.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It always
If
feels
your
weird when
ex,
movies
if
do
your
that.
ex-lover was a lizard,
Big lizard.
No, you're right. Yeah.
a big lizard that owned like what was it, a social media platform or like
Biggest social media guy since Zuckerberg.
three
I believe
places.
is
No,
what-
no.
Is what Kim Kardashian says.
She says no. She says third
Did she
to
say
Mark
third biggest?
Zuckerberg. Third biggest. He's 3 below Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, that's the bronze medal. That's not.
Is
that's,
he
That's no
is he
big
above or
achievement.
below Tom?
And I don't know.
Tom's Facebook, right? Who was what was that?
MySpace.
Oh, he's
MySpace.
MySpace. Okay, right.
Mark Zuckerberg's
Zuckerberg's
Facebook.
Facebook. What am I saying?
Meanwhile on
I saw the
Twitter,
movie.
it's Mark Zuckerberg according to Sorab.
Twitter, yeah.
Old Tweetberg.
Tweetberg.
That's the maker of Twitter. Old Tweetberg. Now, guys, I had no clue what this movie was about, though, having selected it. All I knew was the title and Tyler Perry, and I had no expectations. I just was like, what's this going to be? And I actually thought it was going to revolve more around marriage counseling.
So did I. I thought it was gonna be like a marriage counselor who like fucks her patients.
Technically, she does.
Yeah, I guess
He's not really a patient.
No, but she works in the firm in which it's a matchmaking place, and he goes
please.
to...
It was a prostitution firm. Okay,
She's a madam.
Why are we? She is. She's absolutely a
But
madam.
he goes to her, and she does his file, and then technically she does hook him up.
the immediate thing.
Right, I guess, but
Oh, I know, it's a stretch, but the movie does say, get stretching. Just start
is
working
that what
out.
the movie says?
Tyler,
Get stretching.
that's the tagline.
It's the tagline of the movie.
I found it very distressing that he has no hair on his head except for under his chin.
It's the only time that the man who is tempting the woman can be bald is if he's black, because white guys look
Bruce
weird.
Willis?
Yeah, but when has he ever been? Since he's been bald, when has he ever been like the romantic lead in a movie?
I'd have to look up Bruce Willis's career because he does a lot
And also,
of
he's
shit.
Bruce Willis. Like he was famous before he lost his hair. That's different.
Vin Diesel.
As in a role like this,
He's been romantic. XXX.
I love that you called it XXX and not triple X.
Well, it's to spell it
Yes.
for everyone.
Triple X, that amazing romantic comedy that he was in.
Return of Xander Cage.
Oh, the second one.
Third.
A third one.
Second
That's right.
one had
yeah, the
Ice
second one
Cube.
had Ice Cube. That's right.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. Yul
Prove me
Brynner.
wrong. No, I'm
Yul Brynner. I mean, he's not white, but he ain't black. No, he was genuinely a very attractive person. Like
I'm not saying bald people aren't attractive.
you're saying, but you're saying it only works for black people.
No, I'm saying that in movies,
Yeah.
the lead in a romantic lead will only be bald if he is black.
Oh, I don't know, man. Patrick Stewart.
When has he ever been a romantic lead?
Star Trek.
He's just the lead. He's not the romantic.
He's had
lead.
romantic episodes.
That's not what I mean.
You're talking about film, weren't you?
Well,
yeah,
he just-
yeah, film. There you
All
go.
right,
That's
film. We'll
TV.
reduce it down back to film, I guess. I said Bruce Willis wasn't good enough.
No, because he's not the like.
I-
He was in.
Bartek,
he was in,
can you think of any bold...
Moonlighting? But he had hair back then.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, he did. You're right. You got
Yeah.
me there.
Is
What
there
about...
any like midlife crisis romance film that has
As
it?
I'm sure Robert Duvall.
There's only one I can think of,
Go on.
and it was a recent one. with James Gandolfini and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
But James Gandolfini wasn't fully bald.
Well, there you go. So you're proving my point
But
fully.
no, you set that up. You're like, oh, you know which one's worked? The guy that's not fully bald. And I'm like, well, he's not fully bald. Well, then you proved my point. And I'm like, well, you
because
set it
I
up
was trying
like
to
that.
give you one, but
I
no,
know.
it's fine.
It's like you earlier when you shot down your own point about Pow.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's all happening. I swear that there's been an attractive bald person.
I challenge you to think of one. I'm not saying there's no attractive bald people. It's not what I'm saying.
I wonder.
And you can't say George Costanza because that's TV.
Edward Norton, American History X.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I stand corrected. You're right. Because whenever I want to have a romantic night in, I will put in American History X.
And a Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage
Yes,
Counselor.
no, but he's black. I'm saying a white guy.
I'm not saying that you're completely wrong. I just want to find out if there is someone
no,
who can
and
trump this, and you're
I'm-
just
no.
like, we're all forgetting about the magic of John Cryer or something.
No, I completely agree. Like, if someone can correct me, please do. And I'm sure you have many listeners who will comment now. But please tell me.
They're like, Sorab, how can you be forgetting about this bald actor, the classic white guy bald actor? It's also like, how many white guy bald actors are there
Well, that's what I'm saying.
at the moment,
well.
other than Patrick Stewart?
There's
and-
Stanley Tucci, Vin
Oh,
Diesel.
there you go. Stanley Tucci's a heartthrob.
Is he?
Oh,
I think he's
you
a
need to
good-looking
listen
man.
to our episode.
Oh, no,
on
don't get me wrong. I think Stanley Tucci's a very good-looking man, but I don't think he's considered a hot.
Oh no, he is. We did an episode
To be
on
fair,
the
you-
film The Core, and we looked up Stanley Tucci, and there's a big gay community that thinks he's a heartthrob.
I can see that, actually. He's
But
very
that's
well
real life,
dressed.
not a film, is it?
What was that?
That's real life.
It's real
though.
life.
Oh, they use his films as examples. They're like, see this moment in Lovely Bones
Yeah, they also use coins as examples for
of how big his
nipples.
nipples are. Does he have dime
What?
nips? Does he have quarters?
Oh,
Lizard
man.
boy is smiling.
Yeah.
It makes me smile.
You used to have lizards, Ryan. Did they smile?
Oh yeah,
Really? Do
when they
look
just
like that?
when they just ate a cricket.
And they look like that?
I mean, I look like that when she's reacting. This was a very weird scene because he's just like fully intimidating her, and she looks like horrified, and he's just like, "You're horny, aren't you?" And she's just like,
yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
You
so
know, he's a creep.
we have
He's
the
a total creep.
but in a sexy way.
Yeah, right. Of
Because he's
course.
bold and black.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the two B's.
Yeah,
he's actually
the
three:
two Bs.
big, bold, and black.
Big, bold, and black. That's all you're gonna be like. Terry Crews, big, bold, and black.
I was
He's
gonna say
amazing.
Marcellus.
Oh, another one.
Ving Rhames, the big sex symbol. Ving Rhames.
Incredible.
Sean Connery.
What about Sean Connery?
He's a sexy, boldish man.
Again, I'm not saying there aren't sexy bald men. I'm saying they're never the
We
lead
did
in
a movie. It was called Entrapment, with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Was he bold in that?
He's bold, practically. In
Is
that.
he the lead in that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sean Connery?
Yeah.
In Entrapment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's him and her teaming up.
Huh.
Yeah, man.
But do they get together?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And Ving Rhames is in it
I love Ving Rhames.
as tech guy.
I love always. I love Ving Rhames so much.
Oh, we all love Ving. So, Bartek, how did you feel about the drama aspect of this? You're not so you're not so sure about the erotic aspect, but what about the drama?
I don't know. I know there's definitely eroticism there. It was just like the purpose of it is what I was
But
talking about.
tell me about your feelings about the drama.
Believe it or not, there was drama in this film.
And did it affect you? What moments of drama really were poignant and well done and really struck a chord with you?
I did like.
No laughing, Sorab.
No, I was laughing at the line in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, genuinely hilarious line. Yeah,
we can
you're right.
fluff the pillows and do it the way we always do. That's a funny line.
It's
okay?
a hilarious line. I like there's a
very
bit
funny.
too where she's like, I give him a little trick. And I'm like, we're not going to tell you my mum about the trick. And I'm like, is the trick anal?
Yeah, I know. Right?
Because, do we call it that?
No, I thought.
Hey, darling, I want the trick.
I thought it was a blowjob.
You don't call a blowjob the special trick I do.
On a birthday when you're a married couple, I feel like that's the joke.
Maybe. Go on,
In
Bartek.
terms of sex, trick refers to people that hire prostitutes, right? So
Turning
is
tricks.
true, that
That's
is
turning
true.
tricks.
Turning a trick.
So, Bartek, the drama. Tell us about some moments that really struck strongly with you.
not so much a moment, but on an overall plot level, I did like that this film explored like the duality of this affair because we do have a religious character as the person being seduced, being tempted, I should say.
Yeah.
Temptationed.
Temptation.
Temptation.
You mean tempted?
Well, because the title's Temptation, so I had an ED at the end to be a bit funny. Bit cute too.
See, guys, he has to run in the sun to get that warm blood.
Right, of course.
Go on.
And then he stopped because he's
He
in
really
the
does
shade.
look like a fucking lizard, though. Look at this guy.
It's quite reptilian.
He's got scales.
Scales.
He's got...
They had to digitally edit away his green skin.
Yeah.
I actually said if you just
The
painted him...
CGI budget
I
for this
said if you
movie was
painted
through
him
the
green,
roof.
you could have put him in the shape of water. As a fucking reptilian
He does
fish.
kind of look like that fish.
A reptilian fish man. But go on.
Yeah, so on an overall level, that's the thing, but I think the point where it was really fully highlighted was outside the club when Bryce dragged his wife out and
Oh, yeah.
she just had to all right, we're on the spot, I just have to put it out there. This isn't working, you need to find someone else.
That scene really struck a chord with me as well. There was multiple aspects to that scene, and once we get to it, we'll really delve in. But I agree. There was a moment, too, when she was like, let go of me, I've got to go back, and she goes back and takes some guy's random drink out of his hands.
Yeah.
I felt the drama there, because that guy looked shocked.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, because it really showed that she's really fallen far from where she started. She was not the type of person to steal someone's drink out of their hands, but now she is. And
Well, not even
her mum would be shocked.
See, I didn't
Thou
even
shalt not steal.
I didn't even really see that as stealing. I saw it more as a thing
God
of
will.
she's in this world now where that is a casual thing that she can do. She knows how this world works.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy that she took the drink from, it almost seemed like a normal thing for him too. Like, oh yes, you're part of this world. You know what you're doing.
He seemed pretty shocked, but I like how you're part of this world now, so it's okay to do bad things. It's like, you're part of this. Well, it's like.
But you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
It's like shoplifting. It's a victimless crime. It's like punching someone in the dark.
Yes,
That's one of my
those are
favorite
victimless crimes.
That's my favorite Nelson quote from The Simpsons. That's one of his quotes I love so much. It's like shoplifting. It's a victimless crime, like punching someone in the dark. It's like the episode where Bart wants to steal that video game, the Doom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Stormbreaker, whatever. It's like
that,
Thrill House.
That video game always looked awesome.
Thrill House.
I was always like, I want to play that video game.
So can we talk about what we just saw? So we've established that that our characters here are forming a bond, and she's pursued him, and in the pursuit, she's now seen the temper that he has within him, and in fact, it seems to arouse her.
Yep.
What did you think of seeing this man or lizard temper come out, and did it arouse you? Or if not, could you understand why it aroused her?
Yeah, I can understand why it aroused her.
So it aroused you?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I always want a lizard to fight for me. Because, think about it. If you were in a war and you had a giant lizard on your side, you're winning the fucking war.
Unless it's the Great Wall with Matt Damon.
Oh, yeah,
Then you're a fucking loser.
Well, they weren't called lizards there.
They were reptilians.
They were
They were Mongolians.
let's be real. You want a lizard on your side.
Oh, I agree.
And when her alternative is her husband, who when a bunch of dudes are actively trying to fuck with them, and he's just like, get in the car, let's go, let's get out of here. Whereas this guy, someone accidentally bumps into her and is very apologetic, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you!
You're
come
right.
on.
In a warmer environment, yes.
Yeah, he needs heat lights.
Not on Mount Everest.
he needs heat lights.
Heat lights.
I agree. I see. I liked when in erotic thrillers they show the more darker aspects of the villainous character. We will eventually learn that this guy is a demon of sorts. I enjoyed seeing how they fleshed that out. It seemed like a very genuine moment too. It wasn't too out of nowhere. He sees the girl he's with gets smacked by a bike, and the bike guy doesn't even get off his bike to help her up.
I think he was trying to.
He was concerned.
He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. He said that.
Yeah.
He didn't help her up,
No,
though.
I'm saying
That's
in the
true,
logic of his perspective
again, you're
of
right.
things.
Living in the logic of a erotic thriller
And a lizard.
and a lizard. Fight or flight, lizards just go straight for the fight. They don't fight.
Or they just stand there waiting for some more juicy sunlight.
Yeah.
And but I really enjoyed that scene, and it's the first of many. And this sequence here, where they're back and forthing it, and she's kind of showing that she's more observant and more strong-willed and smart than he gives her credit for.
I do have a
is a really
question about
nice
the
little
scene.
piece of character work.
I do have a question
He
about
ate
the
the other
scene.
woman.
That was gonna be my question. who leaves that? Like, okay, fair enough. You forgot your earrings. Who the fuck leaves their shoes?
Well, Sorab, if you got fucked real hard by a lizard man, you would need shoes after that. You need a wheelchair.
I guess-
Terry Crews went through this in
Look,
White Chicks.
If I get fucked real hard by a lizard man, not having shoes would be the least of my problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you.
I guess in my head I was thinking like, you know, that it's established that the run that they go on is very early in the morning, so I just figured they were in the other room or something,
No, you're right.
still asleep.
That makes that scene even more creepier.
Or-
Because
or he's got
I think you're really beautiful. I want to fuck you. And there's another chick that he's just had sex with in the other
She's in
room.
my terrarium.
She's in my terrarium.
With the crickets in them.
He sleeps in a giant terrarium. I like that.
No, his bed is a giant heat rock.
Bed is a giant heater.
A few scenes back, we had that thing with the survey where
Yeah.
he did the survey and she
Oh,
was
yeah,
giving
yeah.
an interpretation of him.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. It was very good.
Yeah, I remember when I watched the film, the part where because she just kind of casually went through like everything she observed through that survey. She mentioned like he has a temper, and that was
Yeah.
an immediate like red flag there, like a temper, and we're just kind of brushing over that. And then when the bike thing happened, immediately it was like, there's the temper.
Also,
There it
what
is.
question could have possibly been on that survey that allowed
Oh,
her
well,
to believe
I
she
know
had
the
a
answer.
temper?
The answer is, if I got hit by a cyclist in a park, would you react angrily? And the answer was, motherfucking yes. In fact, it ripped through the paper.
He ripped through the paper, yeah.
and there was blood on it.
Blood on it, yeah.
And she's like...
She calmly interpreted
She's just
it.
like, you got a temper? We're just going to
temper?
skirt over that. We're not going to...
temper?
We're not
Just
going to look at that.
Skirt over that for
Yeah,
a
we
moment
don't need to
there.
look at that.
I agree. Just skirt over that. Can we talk about Kim Kardashian?
I guess.
Please, let's do
Could someone inform me who she is? Like, I know she's a celebrity of some sort, but
are you trying
why
to-
is she a thing?
Why is she
I
famous?
know the Kardashians represented OJ in court,
Robert Kardashian, yeah.
but why is she the most well-known Kardashian?
I can tell you. I know.
Go on.
I actually know the answer to this. She was on... You remember Paris Hilton had a show back in the day?
Yeah, Simple Life?
Yeah, she was like Paris Hilton's bitch on that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she made her own sex tape and
But
released it. and
what was the
became
name of that
famous
sex tape?
with
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian? I don't know.
'Cause
Because
at
sex
least-
tapes have names?
That's what I was gonna
Paris
ask.
Hilton's one was called A Night in Paris.
Oh, but that's because her name's Paris.
Yeah,
Like,
but
what
that's
else
why.
are you gonna call it?
But that's the best. Well, Kim couldn't even get one. With a
No,
cool-
what are you going
with
to
a-
call
with
it?
a-
A Night in Kim? That's not
No,
clever.
you have to work something off the name Kardashian. Or like objection. Objection.
Well, the immediate
Or
pun.
erection.
The immediate pun.
Objection erection. That's what it was called.
The immediate pun I can think of is fuck
Sustained.
Kim.
Yeah.
Like fuck him.
Yeah, fuck Kim. That's good. That's a good one. But no, so yeah, so she made a sex tape. She became
And then
famous.
They
She
gave
got,
her a show?
Yeah, she got her own reality. I don't think it's very hard to get a reality show.
I think my mum once told me that like her mum started this reality show.
Yeah, her mum.
business
They're
thing.
like. Say what you will about them. Anyone can make a sex tape. Not
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
can make $1 billion empire out of one.
I mean, they already had an
This is
empire
intelligence.
beforehand, though.
True, but I mean,
Like Paris Hilton already had an empire beforehand.
true, but before the sex tape, did you know who Kim Kardashian was?
No, you got me there.
There you go.
But so she's not an actress.
no, she's not an actress.
So here's the thing. No, here's the thing I want to say. Paris Hilton. Say what you want about her. She's made her career outside of just being the sex tape and reality star. She's a fashion person. She
Yeah,
does
yeah.
perfumes. She does acting and music.
yeah, no.
Socialite.
Socialite
Apart
as
from-
well. But like she's done many things where you could actually look at her and go, I know her for being an actress. I know her for music. I know her for
Paris
this.
Hilton acted?
Yeah, she's acted in several
Oh
things.
no, she has. I've seen her
Yeah,
in something.
she was in My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, that's right.
And she does her own movies. Whether they're good or not, forget about
That's,
that.
no, that's besides the point. Well, Kim
but-
Kardashian, here you go. So she's acted in this.
Yeah.
She was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
As herself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on a magazine cover.
All right. Yeah.
And actually, the joke is, Marshall's looking at it and he's about to go into a bathroom to masturbate,
Right.
and he looks at it and says, and she speaks to him and says, "Get in there, Marshall, do your thing." And he goes, "Thank you, hot lady, who my wife keeps telling me why you're famous, but I keep forgetting."
Yeah.
That's the joke.
But
But no, she's also a socialite.
yeah.
I think they do have fashion and they have perfumes.
Oh yeah,
and
I think
shit.
I know her younger sister. One of her younger sisters is more known for that. I think
Well, and
it's
also like she has sisters who are models as well.
yeah, but I'm saying like she doesn't seem as like versatile in any way as Paris Hilton does. Like I think Paris Hilton is
No, you're
the
right.
bigger, better socialite. But I'm
You're
just saying like
absolutely right.
Kim Kardashian has a lot going on, but like last week we did The Other Woman, and that movie had Nicki Minaj in it as a secretary. And Bartek and I were talking about Nicki Minaj, and I informed him that Nicki Minaj is known for having a big ass.
Yep.
She's got a huge ass, and Bartek was like, isn't that more of something Kim Kardashian's known for? And I'm like, I think so. And
yeah, but there can be two people who have.
No, but what I just want to point this out. In the episode last week, my big thing with Nicki Minaj as an actress is she's playing a secretary, just like Kimmy
Kim
here.
Kardashian, yeah.
And I found it overwhelmingly distracting how unnaturally huge her ass is, where it pulls you out of the experience, because there are certain people, like actresses or musicians, especially the pop stars, where, you know, pop stars have that certain thing that makes them, like, you know, that certain sexuality, that overwhelming thing, you know, the hair, the lips, the boobs, whatever. And she has the booty. And then you see her in a movie where she's supposed to be playing a normal person, and yet she's still got that fantastic hair and the dresses and the huge ass, and it looks like a pop star. Yeah. And I just wanted to say, like, in this movie, I was actually concerned, like, oh, will this be the same with Kim Kardashian? And I was just like, no, Kim Kardashian in this, I know that she's supposed to be the sexy lady or whatever. In this, she just looks like a normal-ish person, like someone who would actually be in this line of work. Like, I could actually see her operating. She's got a big butt, but like in a normal person way at this point. I don't know about now, but like, you know, she looks.
And that was what I was going to say as well, is like
a normal person, just who has also, nice style.
I think what you said as well is key to it. She looks like she would work at a place like this.
Yeah.
Whereas I haven't seen The Other Woman, but I would
She's
imagine...
supposed to be like a high...
Like what kind of office is that?
A law office.
Yeah, no, see that...
Like for
that's
a high...
Whereas
for Cameron Diaz.
You put Nicki Minaj in a place like that, I think she'd fit in as well.
I still think she doesn't.
You don't think she does?
She just, like, I don't know...
She still looked like a pop star.
She still looks like a pop star.
But that's the thing as well, is like Kim Kardashian... She's not a pop star.
No,
she's
I know.
Just a regular person.
Oh, I know, but she's still like
somewhat attractive.
But then on the opposite scale, when you see Paris Hilton in the thing, you can't take it seriously in the way that you just look at her and you just go, "That's just socialite Paris Hilton in this." Well, I looked at Kim Kardashian and I saw, you know what? I believe her in this. Like, I don't get taken out and going, "That's just Kim Kardashian." Like, you know, like, since I don't have a familiarity with her as well, and I'm not that familiar with Nicki Minaj either, I just found it non-distracting in this, like. She just looks like a normal person who just has style and a bit of money to go into that style.
And also,
Nicki Minaj looked like, I'm the pop star Nicki Minaj. I'm here for today to shoot my scene.
Nicki Minaj
Make sure my skirt shows how big my ass is. And it's just like, it never felt like I was watching a character.
And also,
Kim Kardashian was a character.
Yeah.
And also, it's established that the workplace in this film, you know, has a very strong focus on appearance and fashion. Yeah,
the way
from her.
Look,
but yet again, I still thought like, she looked like a normal, like, you know, like I could see women like that just walking around Melbourne CBD, just on their way to work as well. While Nicki Minaj, it's like you'd have to be at her concert
to see
her look like that, like anyone look like that, you know, and it would be just her.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting that, you know, I had all this build up of Kim Kardashian being this thing, and then in the movie, she just kind of blended in, like, you know, like Bartek didn't even know it was Kim Kardashian until he looked up after. Which is what shocked me. Like, you didn't see her name in the credits at the beginning?
I can't read.
You can't. You heard it here
The only thing I can read is pharmacy and soda fountain.
And that's it. So, Sorab...
And what more do you need, really?
Sorab, when you've upset a girl, do you seduce her back into your good charms by putting on a little cowboy hat and stripping down to your boxes and playing a big old guitar?
I do all of it, but without the guitar, because I don't know how to play guitar.
What instrument do you know how to play?
I don't know how to play any instrument.
You better start learning, boy.
I should. I know.
All right.
Because really, like,
you don't even know how to play the recorder.
I do all of this, and it doesn't work because I don't have the guitar.
You see, Sorab's still playing like his primary school recorder.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just shirtless in a cowboy hat with a recorder, and no one wants that.
3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. That's all you're playing.
That's not sexy. That's just weird.
And you're not a black bald guy, so
no, this guy's not bald though. So
isn't he?
Fine. No.
Oh, he's just got a really closely shaved head.
No, this guy's got hair. This is the husband.
Oh, yeah. He does have a short buzz cut haircut though.
Yeah, he's got a fade.
Is that what it's called, a fade?
Yeah, when it fades from nothing to hair on top.
Oh, all right. I need to see him without the hat again because all I'm focusing on is that big, beautiful body.
Oh yeah, he's in very good shape.
Didn't Harley have?
Yeah, there you go. He's got a fade.
He's got very short hair.
Yeah.
I mean, as the
Actually,
film...
it's not a fade. He's just got short hair.
Yeah, thank you. In the film, Harley does start growing his hair a little. Like, you see more of
Yeah,
it
he's
being
got a hairline. You
distinct.
can see it. Yeah.
He shaves it.
Yeah.
Like Terry Crews.
Yep.
Which most people don't realize, because
Yep.
Terry Crews shaves it so well that you barely notice.
Clean shaven.
Well, this, how good would this movie be if her husband was played by Kevin Hart?
It actually would have been amazing. I'd
he's
watch the hell out of that
he's
movie.
a fit little man.
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Bartek, Kevin Hart, if he was the husband in this?
If he was the husband in this, I would want the confrontation at the end to be a bit longer and like
Yeah, me
more of a
too.
wrestling match.
Me too.
Yeah, when he throws him through the window.
Through the window.
And you just hear him go, "Eee!"
Yeah.
I would like it if Kevin Hart played the husband and Chris Tucker played Harley.
See, I want to see that movie. That sounds amazing.
Because Chris Tucker also looks like a lizard, but in a charming way.
Chris Tucker, yeah, it's true.
Like, because he's charming.
He's
This guy
charming.
is scary.
This guy's creepy as fuck.
Now, Bartek, are you familiar with Vanessa Williams here?
I know the name.
Why do you think you know the name? What about her just kind of lingers in your brain to go, I know that name?
Because I've heard it before.
Oh, there you go. Case closed. Thanks
what
for
do
the
you want from- what do you
conversation,
want from
Bartek.
What
me?
a shock.
I'm just like, well, do you know if she's an actress or model or celebrity of some kind, or do you think she's a tennis player?
Yeah, celebrity of some kind, yeah, and evidently
I think
actress.
she's a tennis player.
Well, there's another Vanessa who's a tennis player.
It's Venus.
Oh, it's Venus, is it?
Yeah.
And Serena.
Venus and Serena.
I forgot.
No, it's Venus. Huh?
Oh, there you go.
Vanessa.
This chick looks like a Pokemon.
Her eyes are fairly far apart, yeah.
She should play Detective Pikachu.
This looks like a fun
They should have
movie.
given it to Danny DeVito, damn it. But let's not go on about that again.
Again, you've done that before on the
That
podcast.
was after the podcast yesterday, right?
And we did it on the podcast last week, so we're not getting into that
Oh,
again.
that's
Okay,
right, we
fair
did,
enough.
yes, fair
Fair
enough.
Screw Ryan Reynolds. I should have given it to Danny DeVito. He is a voice.
That's right, everyone hashtag screw Ryan.
Yeah, Reynolds.
Reynolds, not all Ryans.
Hashtag not Ryan Lochte. Now, the thing about this movie is it takes a lot of interesting elements and ideas of the human nature and explores them in ways that most films wouldn't do. Like, this is not what you would see competing against a Marvel movie, but it did. And it did successfully.
What did it?
I don't know. What came out in 2013?
Thor 2? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
It would
everything.
have been Thor 2, actually, yeah.
Don't they make
'Cause
two movies a year?
2012 was the Avengers, so yeah.
Don't they make
13.
two a year?
Back then they were making 2 a year. Now they've got 3.
So
I
what was the
think.
other one? Thor 2? Captain America? 2?
Yeah, it would have been Winter Soldier.
Cool. So what I'm saying is, this is financially successful
Yeah.
in a time in which who would go see this?
Well,
When they have
I
all
feel
the
like
big
no, but
blockbusters of all time.
because this is it's like counter programming.
Yeah.
It's like I heard Tina Fey describe counter programming once. She goes, yeah, it's like when they put on really gay shows during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's for the audience that's not going to see
Well,
Marvel.
Tyler Perry has a quote where he goes, "The movies I make are for the audience that studios don't know about,"
Yeah.
which is black people. That's what
I
he's
feel like
saying.
specifically with this movie, black women.
Oh yeah.
Or just
Well-
actually just women in
Well,
general.
most
for
of
this
his
movie.
movies are made for black women.
Yeah, but I feel like women in just housewives in general, that's who this movie is for.
So-
Particularly Christian housewives.
So, guys, we're talking about Tyler here. What, tell me more about what you guys kind of know about him. Do you know, about the Medea movies, but do you know, what the kind of view is of him and his films and his just general legacy? Because he does have one.
I can be honest with you. I think Tyler Perry is someone who, and I'm being completely genuine here, I very much admire.
Oh, yeah.
Because he, say what you will about his movies, he makes the movies that he wants to make, and he's got his own studio, and he self-funds everything, he owns everything.
He's a great businessman.
He's an incredible businessman, and he's very successful. Again, say
I-
what you will about the movies, he's
I think
very,
he's-
very talented man.
I think he's someone to kind of admire. This is a guy who
Absolutely.
was destitute for a while. He was living on the streets.
Yeah.
And still making plays and stuff, even when they were flopping, he was still going out there and trying. And, having issues, and somehow through just sheer force of will and good luck and fortunes, he's managed to make an empire for himself and have his own film studios. And like we said, the film quality, you know, kind of varies, but he has his audience and he caters to that audience, and they're an audience that not many people are catering to, and it's kind of interesting. Like, you know, it's interesting to consider that this is also one of the times on this show we've done a kind of religious movie on a level too, because this is a religious movie.
Yeah,
We get told to go to church a lot.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of interesting too to see.
Yeah, it's not like Red State.
Yeah, this is interesting to see a mainstream American movie catered towards black Christian women.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And it's actually successful.
It's interesting for me
It's
too
very
because...
successful. I think it made. Sorry to interrupt. I think it made.
No, it's fine. It's only happened a lot.
I think it made like $53 million.
Yeah.
This movie.
I can confirm that actually because I don't have internet, but I've got the Wikipedia page open.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia. Yeah, it's interesting for me seeing this film and not only seeing it but doing it on the podcast, because films like these, I always just classify in my head as like, oh, that's what the American movie reviewers on the internet talk about. They talk about this world of cinema. So now I'm actually seeing one for myself, and I'm like, yeah, I can see elements of all that stuff I hear about. Like, you know, on cinemsnob.com they talk about a lot of Tyler Perry things that they see, and part of the joke there is that they're not the audience for it.
Yeah, like a lot of time audiences who see this like interact with the movie, like a lot of them are like black people who are like, girl, don't do that and stuff like that, and it's supposed to be
that's also like the big joke about Tyler Perry that I think everyone would know about, because even South Park did, like, oh, Medea's that character that all black people find funny or something like that.
I mean, she is great though. She's such a mean-spirited character, yet she preaches morals.
Budget was $37 million, box office $53.1 million.
Yeah, made its money back.
Yeah.
And it looks nice for what is a pretty low-budget film in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, no, yeah.
He makes them cheap and fast, but still makes them successful and look like a film.
Yeah.
Here he is, Lizard Boy. My favorite... He's like... This isn't a jacket, it's my scales. Come, sit down. I've got some fresh crickets waiting for you.
You already made that joke.
Yeah, but I'm making it again.
You were talking about when you made the joke.
I'm making it again, dang it. He is licking his lips so much through the sequence because he's just had a tasty mouse. He's just like
He slept up a mouse beforehand.
I actually
He
said
stole it from a snake.
I reckon he is a snake. So I reckon she's a mouse and he's a snake.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie,
metaphor.
she becomes a reptile herself, but then she doesn't. I don't know who this actress is. I looked her up and I'm not familiar with her films, but she reminds me of a live action version of an adult version of Penny Proud from the Proud Family show. Do you remember the Proud Family?
I honestly don't.
You don't remember that animated show? That
No,
was great.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, did you?
I've heard the name, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, man. People out there know what I'm talking about. She looks exactly like Penny.
There was a trivia
as
point.
an adult.
There was a trivia point about her on IMDb.
Where she was having a great time. Oh, Bill Cosby recommended her?
Yeah, wasn't it a thing that
Really?
Bill Cosby once upon a time told Tyler Perry, when she was still a child actress, like,
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye on her. She'll be great
so
one day.
creepy.
No, it's fine.
Well, it's creepy because it's Bill Cosby, but
That's what I mean. That's why.
But the thing itself isn't.
No.
The thing about Tyler Perry too is we have to remember the reason he's so successful is he's good friends with Oprah, and she featured him on her show, and that helped launch him. So that he's got the connections with Oprah. In one of his most recent movies, he had Whoopi Goldberg in it.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's getting like, and let's not forget, Tyler Perry's also like Screen Gems and stuff. He's giving work to black actors that usually wouldn't get work in the type of roles he's giving in his movies.
Yeah.
And he also launches the careers or nurtures the careers of actors we know and like. Like he kind of helped out Taraji P. Henson. She appears in lots of his movies.
Well, this actress here is now playing, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she's playing Black Canary.
Ooh.
In the next big DC movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Her name is Jurnee Smollett-Bell.
Oh, that's a great name. I like in this scene here, it took him the whole entire day to realize that she's been made up to look nice. But when in the other scene, he noticed instantly when she curled her hair
Changed her
slightly.
hair, I know.
I also forgot that Kim Kardashian made her up to look nice because she looks how she looked before.
Yeah, she's a very pretty woman, and she just looks the same to me.
It's like, let's shine this chassis a little more. Like, it's like
Ryan, they had to
Right.
give her, her dress, her hair.
Now, the funniest thing about this whole entire movie is I had to look up this actor here. I had not seen him in anything
Lizard Man.
before.
Robbie
Lizard
Jones,
Boy.
was it?
Robbie Jones is his name. And I looked up his IMDb. He's 6'3".
Okay.
He is interesting because his trivia is trivia that I believe he wrote himself. And I say this because I'm going to share some of it with
Yes,
you
please
now.
do.
Does one of them begin
Has
with I?
always wanted to learn the piano and attempted to teach himself some Justin Timberlake songs after viewing a YouTube video. What was that?
You're right, because who the hell else would know that?
Has purchased tickets for the film Titanic 4 times. That doesn't even mean he saw it 4 times. It's like
He
if
just
we
bought
went
the
to the
tickets.
cinema and I bought tickets for you two.
And he kept getting
Technically, I bought it
sidetracked.
3 times.
No. He really wanted to see it, but he kept getting sidetracked every time.
See, I see that as like going to the checkout 4 times, like 4 separate occasions.
Hobbies include doing weird cartoon voices, as well as taekwondo, dancing, DJing, playing the drums, singing, and bike riding. Also likes to do accents and impressions.
Half of that's me. So.
As a child, he wanted to follow in the footsteps of his father and become a stockbroker, though he did not understand what one was at the time. Like, these are like trivia points. Like, what?
Either he's given very personal interviews or it's him. Yeah.
Oh, imagine he's giving very personal interviews.
Either
Like,
that or his
for the-
publicist is his mum.
Oh, he is his own publicist.
Yeah.
Like if
Bill
you
Murray.
didn't, Ryan, if you didn't tell us that that was him doing it, you was like, oh, there's a person who, and then you gave all these facts. It's like, oh, is this like a child or something?
and then I wanted to become a stockbroker, but I didn't know what one was. And then I'm a lizard. And then now I'm in movies.
And now I'm in an erotic thriller.
I'm in an
It's
erotic
like
thriller.
Ralph Wiggum. And then I became a butterfly.
And I like taekwondo,
and I like doing accents.
cartoon voices.
He also liked doing accents, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him. You can imagine this as the kind of guy who does accents in his spare time.
Oh yeah.
What kind of accent do you think he is a specialty in?
African.
French.
I think it's the human accent because his real accent is lizard. His real accent is.
I like that you're calling that an accent.
No, that's my synesthesia thing. From
Well,
earlier.
what would you call it? I know it's a language, but it's also like when he speaks lizard in English, he has this thick lizard accent.
Oh, okay, right. What's that?
Parcel tongue.
You read my mind. That's exactly. I was going to
He
ask.
should
what's
have
that,
played Voldemort. You're
what's
right.
that Harry Potter thing?
No, it's the thing I was doing earlier when I was.
Yeah, the vocal oscillations. That's lizard.
Yeah.
That's him right now. He's like, the sun, it's going down. He's like pouring at the window. He's like, feed me. I'm hungry for warmth.
That's why he's sitting on that side of the plane.
That's why he's sitting on that side of the plane.
Yeah.
That's why he's going to touch her thigh in a moment to gain warmth.
Just for warmth.
Because that's what they do. They like to sit on warm things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think her side of the plane looks warmer.
Yeah, but he's
It
a
does,
gentleman.
true.
He's a gentleman. He's sitting.
Yeah, but that goes
but
against your
they've been on the
point.
but they've been on the plane for hours now. They didn't just get on the plane. This isn't just them taking off. He's been on there for like an hour or two now.
Do it like.
So the sun would have been more prominent at the time when he got on. But now it's kind of shifted. And what is he going to do? Just push her out of her chair? No, he's going to robe his hand up her thigh and then get on top of her, stealing her sunlight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That still
This
goes
is all planned.
That still goes against the point you made, but okay, I agree.
What was the
though,
point I made?
That he's sitting on that side specifically for the warmth, not that he
What-
wants to go on her side.
No, he was at the beginning when he first got on the plane, but time has passed, and now the sun's setting and it's lowering on his side. He didn't think about that. When he first walked on, he saw, oh, the sun's mainly on this side. I'll sit here. You know how things shift around, like the sun? And now it's on her side. Now he's like, shit, it's on her side. I must leap on her. That's what's happening. Look at his
scene is also-
eyes. Look at his eyes.
That's a her first of
No,
all,
when it cuts to him, look at his eyes and see how he's like, look, I want to leap. He's literally doing it now. He's like, I must I must get there now. Warmth. Look at him. He's like
Super rapey, by the way.
But then she says, not yes, but she kisses back. And a real
No, but
kiss of the...
does she?
Well, we'll see in a
Sorry,
second.
this is the line where this is the part where he says the thing. It's like, you fought back.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then she, I don't know, kissing's hard, I guess, but she just slobbers on his bottom lip. Like, just kisses his bottom lip. Like, when you see the kissing, there's a lot of kissing his bottom lip action there.
Now you can say you resisted.
Which is such
So fucking creepy.
It is, but she like kind of.
See, look, a lot of bottom
goes
lip
with
kissing
it?
there.
Yeah.
See, he's kissing her bottom lip. Just a lot of bottom lip kissing. Now she's gonna get in there. Maybe it's more him, but like, yeah, a lot of bottom lip kissing in this.
Yeah, it's all him.
It's all he's eating her. He's like, see how he's stealing the sun?
Yeah.
And she's like, damn, he stole my son. I'm slowly becoming a lizard myself. And see, we cut away.
Yeah.
Because Tyler knows that scene felt a little bit intense. But don't worry, he'll flash back to it because he's aware that it felt a little rapey because she's looking in the mirror and she's kind of like in shock of everything. But then it kind of jolts her system and she kind of becomes a bad person. And, you know, I think a part of the reason...
Is this where he meets the mum?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. In his apple red car.
In his apple red car, yeah.
Because Apple, he's the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Temptation.
Yes, I understood.
The mum's god.
The mum's god.
See, it's a reference
Getting
to
out
the
of that-
Garden of Eden when
Getting
there
out
was
of
an apple
that.
tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Banished.
Don't know if you've heard of it.
I've told you not to be a whore. That's what she said. And yet you couldn't get away, could you? I love Bryce because he's such like a naive, happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Also, was anyone else expecting the mum or Bryce to like invite him up to dinner?
No.
You weren't?
No.
I was.
No. I didn't think that at all. Especially with that look on her
Okay,
face
maybe
where
not the
she looked
mother,
like a
but-
Chucky doll.
Maybe not the mother, but Bryce.
No, I didn't
expecting
think-
to be
I
like, hey,
didn't-
why don't you join us? And then it would have been a really awkward dinner.
No, I didn't think that for some reason. I just didn't get the vibe. And also because of how our main character's acting, I didn't feel like, I would have liked if he invited himself for dinner. He's like,
Yeah,
have
or
you
that.
guys got some tasty, tasty mice?
Right.
I'm
course.
really hankering for a cockroach. Have you got some? Preferably wiggling. Now, see, this is a scene where Tyler goes, yeah, I know that scene was a little intense, but we're going to show that she's kind of tortured by it, but also she's tortured because she's also kind of turned on still by it, but also turned off, and it's a lot of mixed things
She's
going on in her
conflicted.
head.
She's conflicted.
She's conflicted because she's got demons in her now.
She looks in the mirror later on when she's arguing with her mum. Too.
Exactly. It's you know what this is? Reflection.
Mm-hmm.
It's reflection.
She's reflecting on something.
Isn't that? And now she's just rubbing her lip weird. But
Yeah.
no, like, isn't that what life is all about? Reflection. You know, film especially.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's got hickeys on her neck. You know, that go away in the next scene. But she's got them now.
Wait, does she?
Yeah. They were there.
Really?
That's why she was rubbing her neck. She's like, oh shit, I got hickeys. But now the mum's looking really happy, like a creepy
She's
doll.
so happy.
Like a doll.
I know this actress as well. I feel like I've seen her in something before.
I looked her up and I was not familiar with anything she had
Okay.
been in. She does a lot of these type of Christian
Right. Okay.
faith-esque movies.
Yeah.
Not the ones that are like really mean-spirited and harmful, like the ones that Cinema Snob reviews, like God's Not Dead or whatever. But like,
God's not dead.
you know, it's a movie. There's
I
3 of
didn't know
them.
that. Really?
Yeah. Oh man, you haven't lived.
I guess not.
I mean, Hercules is in the first one.
Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He plays the atheist.
Really?
Yeah. The professor of philosophy who's an atheist.
Kevin Sorbo.
And he must verse the main character whose name is Josh Whedon.
The character's name is Josh Whedon.
Yeah. He's a Christian.
That's great.
He's absorbing this in.
That's very
Oh,
funny.
guys, you know shit's going bad. Her hair's wet.
Yeah.
And the mum's like, girl, you need to, like, get that dry. We're going to get sick. And then later she's like, I got to dry. I
That's
don't want
her
to get...
excuse to leave. Yeah.
And then she uses that excuse, and the mum's like, where are you going? Mum, I just told you. We all have mums like this, yeah? Where you say, I'm doing this, and they still ask you what you're doing. It's they ask you because they care. Because you might have demons.
Yeah,
In
right.
you.
Of course.
From, So, sorry, I'm going to ask you, because Bartek and I have talked about this on the before, but did you grow up at all in any kind of religious background yourself?
No.
No, not at all?
No.
Because
no.
Bartek and I have on some level. I mean, you went to a Catholic school, Bartek, and I mean, that's pretty...
I mean, like, my family, we did there is a religion that
Is
was present in our house, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a religious house. You
no.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Same
Oh,
with
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Same with
yeah.
me.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. Like there was religion present. But
Yeah.
no, it wasn't a religious house.
Ryan's seen my mum's Marys.
Bartek's house is filled with Virgin Marys everywhere, and he still is like, "Oh, my house is no. Your household is way more religious
stuff,
than mine."
There's stuff there, but it's not a religious house.
Ryan's seen my mum's Marys is possibly my favorite line.
She
of
also
the whole
has
podcast.
she also
That
has
is
like,
amazing.
She also has like 15 elephants. Just elephant-related things that are in their house. Like, here's a candle holder. That's an elephant. Here's
That's cool.
a keychain. That's an
Elephants are
elephant.
cool.
Here's me, Bartek, an elephant. Toot, toot. No, I wouldn't. I was going to lean into, and we own, all the DVDs we own are Baba. King of the Elephants. Me, I didn't grow up in a particularly religious environment. I
No?
don't think I ever really went to church outside of like the big events
the
that
main
you have to.
events,
yeah.
You've done a couple more church things than I ever have.
Not really typical, like, every Sunday things, but yeah, just mainly the big events.
My family was like, nah.
Is it Christianity?
Catholic,
Catholic.
Catholicism.
Catholicism?
The big OG.
The big OG. As in the original religion.
Original Christ.
I was going to say. 'cause-
Original religion.
Well, I don't know what the OG of religions are.
Well, I can get pretty close. The religion that was present in my household was Zoroastrianism, which is...
I don't know that one.
It's an ancient Persian religion.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I can get pretty close to
What's the major
OG.
holiday of that one?
I guess it would be Nowruz, which is the New Year's, which takes
Ah.
place in April.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I guess that
Well, I
would
guess
be the big
Sorab's having a New
holiday.
Year's party in April.
I don't think that's a holiday though. I don't know if there is a
It's
holiday.
a big event.
Maybe
It,
that.
it is if you're
Can
religious.
you
it's
imagine
not
if you
in my
went to your
house.
boss and you're just like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to take this day off because of this ancient Persian holiday that you've never heard
Yeah,
of."
I
And they're
don't
just
know
like,
that they'd
"You're
understand.
right. You're off the leash on today." And
I feel
you're
like
just
in
like,
today's day and age, though, they'd just be like, "Yeah, go for it."
Go for it.
You
Go
know,
for
they
it.
don't wanna
Also,
be-
here's a candy bar.
They don't want to be.
It's a very Eurocentric thing. Like, oh, I don't get this. I should just accept it.
Yeah,
They have a cutting board or something that says "eats."
yeah. It's a
like a-
cow. I think.
But is it a cutting board?
I don't know what it is.
I thought it was a cutting board. I'm not too sure. There's lots
It's
of
instructions.
It's instructions.
Instructions.
Eats. And here she is. She's upset. You know how women be, Tyler says.
Oh, there! Attractive bald man. Wait, I think he has hair on the back of his head.
Yeah,
does have hair on the
if it was
back.
Don...
Aw.
Okay, I got one for you. Don Rickles.
Oh, of course,
Mr. Potato Head.
Of course. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. He is
Thank
Mr.
you.
Potato Head.
But was,
Thank
but was he
you.
white, though?
Potato
Mr.
Head.
Potato Head.
Yeah, potato head.
Oh, definitely.
Wasn't he like tan?
He's quite tan.
But he's played by Don Rickles.
That's true. He's played by Don Rickles.
He ain't
And-
black.
And Mrs. Potato Head is Estelle Harris, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
George's
George's
mum.
mum.
Yeah, that's the best casting ever.
It's brilliant.
They didn't. Oh man, I don't know if does the new Toy Story have the potato heads in them because Don Rickles is dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
So will they be like how they were with other characters and just retire them, or will they retire him, or will they do the right thing and cast Jerry Stiller?
Well, they,
Oh, fuck, that would be brilliant.
they didn't retire Slinky Dog when Jim Varney died, so they'll...
Oh, didn't they?
No.
Who did the voice in the...
I don't know who, but he was there.
I don't remember him as much.
No, he's Bartek's right. He definitely was there.
I remember
Yeah,
they
he was in Toy Story
retired
3.
the penguin. In the second one, Puffy, the one that
Well,
the
he was only
penguin-
in the one film, so
Yeah.
I guess...
Yeah, but he was left so that you could have him in more. But I think the voice actor died.
Who was the voice actor?
Yeah.
Jim Varney.
Double duty.
Ernest,
But they didn't retire Slinky Dog.
they should have called it Ernest Goes to Toy Story. That's what they should have called it. Well, here's the thing too. Football, woo!
Yeah.
Well, he said touchdown.
Sorab, you're a big sports fan, I imagine. You're wearing a sweater.
As all big sports fans do.
They wear sports sweaters.
They wear jerseys.
Yeah, well, they wear that under the sweater. I mean,
Right.
it's cold in Melbourne, but so you
Okay.
can't just be walking around in jerseys or you're going to freeze to death.
I guess that's true. Football doesn't happen in the summer, does it?
No, it's winter
No,
sport.
most of those sports happen in the winter here in Australia.
In
and
the
then,
everything else.
And then summer is cricket.
Yeah.
And tennis.
Yep.
The boring sports.
To be fair, I find them all boring.
I
but yeah.
agree.
Excuse me?
Not a big
How
sports fan.
dare you say? Oh, I thought you were. You're wearing a sweater.
Right. No, I can see how you drew that conclusion.
So when they
but
do a
no.
touchdown in AFL, do you go sports?
Well,
They call it a goal, right?
yes, I was going to say it's not a touchdown in AFL.
Oh, so you are sports fans. Seem to know a lot about it.
No, Ryan.
Ooh,
We're not a sports.
I think that's what they call a touchdown.
Yeah, in AFL.
Yeah, in
No,
AFL.
we've gone over this, Ryan. We grew up in Melbourne,
Yeah.
so it's unavoidable.
Did you play? Did you guys ever play footy? In school
I played
when you were kids?
soccer.
Yeah, man.
The football.
Yeah, but no, me too. But
The world game, yeah, man.
yeah, the world.
That's what it's
game.
called.
I was telling
I
you,
know it
Ryan.
is.
I was telling
You,
you,
you
Ryan.
said it in a way where it's like, the world game, yeah, like, that's what it's called. I'm like, that is what it's
I know
called,
that's what it's
Sorab.
called.
Your ancient Persian religion doesn't know about the world game?
Probably not.
Well, I'm upset. It's the oldest sport.
I apologize.
The oldest sport
would
outside of
be.
prostitution.
I guess would discus be counted as a sport?
I mean, it is. It's in the Olympics,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an
I
athletic
feel like
event.
that was.
Can we talk about this scene here? I did think...
You mean the shot?
yeah,
It's one shot?
Well, it's sequence, I guess.
I guess so.
It could be argued that the actors aren't even there and those are puppets.
It could have been body
Also,
doubles.
how
could have been
hot
anything.
would that room be? They're in a hot
I
bath,
feel like that bath
with
would be.
15 million candles.
Yeah.
That's a lot of heat.
It's a lot of heat.
Look at him laughing, and those. She's up on the bench. She's not wearing shoes now,
Mm-hmm.
and those forehead veins are throbbing, like his side veins are throbbing. But then there's a vein in his arm that's throbbing. It's a lot of throbbing
A lot
going
of throbbing. A lot of
on
throbbing.
in this scene. I find it interesting too. With this filmmaker Tyler Perry, he's known for being in his movies, but he's not in this.
No.
Like-
No, you're right. He's not.
And I think Bartek, you we talked about it before. You were like, you kind of knew that he wasn't going to be there, but there was still some like maybe he will.
There was
kinda
a thing of
feeling.
like maybe he will, and there was also a thing of like, oh, was he in and I just didn't notice, or because I to be fair, I don't really have his face in my head, but
Yeah.
but he wasn't.
He wasn't, unfortunately.
I feel like he could have played Bryce.
Nah.
Or old Bryce at the end.
I think he would have been great as the madam. And it's just Medea. Medea. And she's just like, listen here, girl. You got to go to church.
That would have been great.
That's too much. That's too
Or the
much.
mother. Or the mother.
Well, no, when they got
Oh,
Kim
yeah,
Kardashian,
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't need him anymore.
Oh, they should have gone to him as Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian, that would have been great.
But he wrote the role specifically for her in mind.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
For Kim Kardashian.
That's
Yeah.
what the trivia said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow, that man.
Yeah, he really is.
I want to talk about him in the fact that I find him fascinating in this regard. He was in Gone Girl.
Oh yeah, you've
And
told me
he
this.
was great. He
He
was
was
actually
great.
one of
He
my
was
favorite
brilliant.
aspects of that movie.
Yeah, me too.
And most people were shocked to see him in Gone Girl. It's like, well, okay, Tyler Perry, he's known for being,
Medea.
lowbrow, common denominator,
And for me,
trash.
As someone who vaguely knew him, as I've established, when I learned that was Tyler Perry, I'm like, that guy, the guy that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really
And
interesting.
most people don't think he's that great of an actor or director, right? That's a common thing. So when I saw him in that, I was shocked. I was like, what? It's like when you see Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love or something,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, he
yeah.
can actually act.
Mhm.
Whoa, okay. And it brings you like this sense of hope.
Absolutely.
Of like, you know what, I want to see more of this. And Adam Sandler, he still does more of that here and there when
Yeah.
he wants.
Yeah.
But Tyler Perry doesned do that as much. And it's this interesting thing in which Tyler Perry didn't know who David Fincher was as a director. Like, he knew his films, didn't know the name. And he has said many times that if he had known who he was, he would have rejected the role because it would have been too good for him. He has this whole
Wow.
kind of idea that
Interesting.
there are, like, he's been offered many roles since then, and he just rejects them because they're too good for him. Like
Interesting.
he doesn't believe in himself, or he thinks that maybe if he starts catering to that standard of quality, he'll be disrespecting the audience that he's built over the
Right.
decades at this point. Like,
Interesting.
and I find it so sad and weird that this man, who most people think has no talent, but has shown if he's directed by the great people, can have great talent, refuses the
Yeah.
call. He's like,
It's interesting as well because like I've seen him in interviews. He's very smart.
oh, he's
He's
incredibly intelligent.
Incredibly intelligent. He's very well spoken. He's very eloquent. I agree. That is, I didn't know that. That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
So, like, I find that fascinating that he has this weird, like, and I can kind of understand it as well. Like, but it's so perplexing, and it's just like, Tyler, be in more
things.
movies,
Yeah.
like be in more movies directed by other people, because maybe he likes just directing his own stuff and being Medea and all that, but like
Lesser people have been in much more.
I
Yeah,
reckon he
absolutely.
could shine, and he was in Vice, and because that was more of a comedy thing, and while
Yeah.
Gone Girl's more of a drama, and he plays the comedic relief in that movie.
But even then, it's a different kind of comedy than Medea.
yeah, exactly, and he's great.
We're in a big
He's
dramatic
amazing.
scene,
He's
by the way.
amazing, and I agree with what you said completely. He was one of my favorite aspects of Gone Girl, and I think Gone Girl is a brilliant movie all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. It's like him
So
and
that's saying
him and Ben Affleck,
They were
really
great together.
and obviously Rosamund Pike.
Oh, she's
fantastic,
incredible.
and all that. I want to see him do more interesting roles. I want to see him play that kind of role again, maybe because that was like a classy Saul Goodman type lawyer,
Yeah,
like a
he
real
was.
classy.
That's a great way of putting it.
Saul Goodman type lawyer, like Lionel Hutz if he was legitimate. I could see him doing that. Like I would like it if he turned up in like a TV show, like a HBO or like a Showtime show or something. Like how cool would it be if he turned up in something like there's that Jim Carrey show called Kidding, where Jim Carrey plays like a kids TV show host or whatever. I like it if he turned up as like the rival or something.
He'd be
How
great,
cool?
wouldn't he?
How good would that be?
Yeah, it'd
or
be
something,
amazing.
or something like that, or like a producer or something.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, here's what we, like that would be cool. Or how cool would it be if you chucked him in like the Breaking Bad universe?
Yeah.
Or something like, yep, this is Huel's brother.
Yeah, no, there's a really, especially in Gone Girl. I haven't seen Vice, but there's a just a calmness to him
Yeah.
that is just brilliant.
Yeah, in Vice he doesn't get to do that much. He's not that big of a player, and that movie's played for more broad appeal
Yeah,
than Gone
right.
Girl. Like,
Yeah.
it's made by Adam McKay, and I don't know if you saw, what was it, The
The Big Short.
Big Short?
I was not a fan of The Big
It's
Short.
similar to that in terms of
Okay.
like comedy injected into what is real things,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. For me, it didn't work as much as The Big Short because The Big Short was such a farcical event of what was happening in the real world.
Yeah.
While Dick Cheney's life story is not that farcical.
Yeah, right.
Like if it was made about George Bush, then that would be
That'd
great.
be very farcical.
because Sam
yeah.
Rockwell was great as George Bush.
Oh man, the trailer. My favorite part was just Sam Rockwell eating wings. Going,
Yeah.
you're my bias. Like it was just fucking brilliant.
Oscar.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So
Speaking of Oscars,
where's Bryce's Oscar? In fact, he got so angry in a take that he and they kept it in that he broke the car window when he slammed the door.
yeah, that was legitimate.
That was in the movie.
Wait, that's real?
Yeah.
that was real.
I was
was
surprised
real.
by that trivia point.
that was
yeah.
real.
Wow.
I was like, that
So-
seems a little excessive.
Super,
but not real.
super strong.
Because
Super
I
strong.
thought the same thing as well. When it happened, I was like, "That's unnecessary," but apparently,
But
it's
then
real.
it's
Okay.
real, and sometimes life is unnecessary. Sorab.
That's true.
My big question I want to ask you is with Brandy,
Mm-hmm.
how come she never gets a coat?
Sorry, I was just laughing at him snapping the pencil.
I mean, we've all snapped pencils. It's hilarious.
No, genuinely, that's why I was laughing because I'm like, I've done that when I've been
But
angry.
it's like, how come Brandy never, even in the future, spoiler alert, she does survive to the future, gets to wear a pharmacy coat?
She's not a pharmacist.
But she works there, selling,
Yeah,
giving
but
people
she's not a
prescriptions.
pharmacist.
She gives prescriptions. She works behind the counter.
Yeah, but she's not a pharmacist.
What is she doing?
She's just like it's like a retail assistant. She's not a pharmacist.
Oh, okay. So is that why? I didn't
Yeah.
understand. I thought she was actually working because it's
Yeah,
a pharmacy.
It's like, no, it's like yeah, but she's not a pharmacist.
Okay, it's just like, but how
You can
come
work at a pharmacy without being a pharmacist.
But how come she doesn't have a uniform of any type? She just looks like a
Oh.
random person working there. Like,
I have no answer for that.
You
but I
work
can
at
tell
a
you why she
you
doesn't
work
have a
at re-
coat.
You work at a retail environment. They make you wear retail
Oh,
appropriate
you just wear
attire.
all black.
Well, Ryan,
Yeah, but that's exactly right. You wear all black.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
wearing like browns and
Yeah, no,
greys
no.
and
Ryan,
greens.
you are making a real fool of yourself.
Eggs on face,
It's
prepared.
a pharmacy and soda fountain.
Oh, is she the
You have
fountain?
to represent the soda fountain.
There you go.
Oh, I thought that was represented by Nanny Fine with all the candy.
No, she's
No,
got a
she's
coat.
the-
she's the
a
balance.
pharmacist.
She's
She's
the
got
balance.
a coat.
Ah,
She's got a white coat.
She's got a white coat.
Yes,
You're right.
She's the balance.
Now,
She's
see,
the
I found
coach.
this scene very, like tender and arousing, and it's just like you think because they did the bold choice of removing the dialogue and playing this great music over it, and you get this, and they have the door still, like the garage door still open, and I was actually waiting for him to pull the curtain.
I was waiting the
closed.
same thing.
Pull the
yeah,
curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought because there's a little curtain there on the door. See, little curtain.
Like a kind of thing, like
And I
where
was
he
waiting
doesn't
for-
look and it's like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows
like,
what he's
you know,
doing.
'cause
He's
just,
sometimes-
close
That's
the
the
curtain.
Sometimes there's a
world.
thing, yeah, and then again that goes in the eroticism. There are things in these movies that are erotic that don't necessarily connect to the real world. Like, why would he close that?
Well, yeah, they're in the garage.
But
Who's gonna look
but
at them?
in film visual language, that could be such a sexy thing to see of him just like, yeah, and just rips it closed, and you get the implication. It's kind of like how in Titanic, they have sex in a car on a boat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she slams her hand against it, and
That's
the steam
right, yeah,
drags it down. It's like, oh.
Sex in a car on a boat.
And then an iceberg happens. I love this, where he's just watching, and she's just stumbling. Like, we're seeing her decline through this sexy montage of events. She's fallen like an angel. Yeah. Like Satan.
I thought that this shot was going to go on to like a conversation, but it
did
takes
I.
away, yeah.
Really?
No,
Okay.
I can totally understand why it doesn't, but that's just what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a lady statue there with a kind of a religious imagery happening behind her, the kind of Virgin Mary effect, the halo beams happening. I don't know why that...
No, dude, it's Dragon Ball Z. It's Super Saiyan.
And now Kim Kardashian's proud because she's wearing green.
Yep.
And I'm green.
The color
with
of
envy.
love.
Now,
Luck, I
what
think,
did you
right?
guys think of Vanessa Williams' performance and how the movie itself goes out of its way to tell you why her performance is this way?
I liked it better once the movie went out of its way to tell me why it was that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a nice little, you know... What's the word? Oh, fuck. It's a nice way...
little fuck, I agree.
It's a nice way to end this little arc of the film with her working at this place and like being fed up with it. Just like a final fuck you to, you know, all that she had to put up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it also emphasizes how fake this place is. This is a place about matchmaking, and she's called the Madam, and she's got this fake French accent. And you have Kim Kardashian, who's obsessed with looks, not with the job, and it just kind of emphasizes the absolute facade of this business. And how she has evolved beyond this facade, and she's like, I'm out of here. And the boss is like, well, guess what? You're already out. Darling. And then I love this, where she's like, you know, we know you're from Alabama, and she's just like, and then
Georgia,
she just,
wasn't it?
oh, Georgia,
Georgia,
sorry,
yeah.
you know you're from Georgia, and then she just drops the accent, like, you know, she's just like, get out of here,
What was it, get your ass out or something?
yeah, you know, and she looks shocked, bitch, yeah. You know, I'm not familiar with Vanessa Williams as much. I remember she's in Eraser. That's the main thing I remember, and she was in Ugly Betty.
I haven't seen Ugly
As
Betty.
the antagonist, I'm pretty sure.
Really? I
think
haven't
she's
seen
herself
Ugly
in
Betty.
that. Because isn't she a model? Or was a
Vanessa
model?
Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And she plays like an evil model in that. I'm like,
I haven't seen Ugly Betty. so
I
don't know.
watched the first season because I remember it was advertised as like this cool comedy. I'm like, so when's the comedy?
Oh, it wasn't funny?
No, it's more of just a romantic soap opera show. Kind of like how people say Jane the Virgin's a comedy, and you're like, but where's the comedy? It's
Yeah,
more of a telenovela soap opera. Like, I know it's a
Yeah.
parody of those, but it is one.
It is one, yeah.
So I was like, where's the comedy?
Yeah,
And
right.
I was like, I was promised a comedy. Where
didn't
is
get
it?
it. Yeah.
It's kind of like the final seasons of Scrubs, where you're like, I remember when this was a comedy.
right.
Now it's MASH, which also started out as a comedy.
Yeah.
And then it became MASH.
MASH, yeah.
Choke the chicken.
I noticed here that Bryce works behind the counter that's behind the counter, but she only works behind the one counter, so maybe you need to be behind the counter to wear the coat, Ryan.
Do you
Yeah.
think in the several decades later, she never earned the coat? She was like,
No,
I don't
she
need
never-
the
Dude,
coat.
the several
you gotta get
decades
a
later, she
degree.
was near the entrance of the
She was
store.
like
in fact-
sweeping, wasn't she?
She was stocking.
Yeah,
was
she
she
was
stocking?
No, in fact, she was. As the decades go, she gets more and more closer to the door until she eventually leaves. I was distressed though in the future section because this story is told me in media res.
Yes.
I was very shocked and worried about how we don't see Nanny Fine's mum.
Oh, she's dead,
She's
man.
dead and
She's
all
so dead.
retired, and I'm very shocked. I
And
was
he
like,
inherited the pharmacy.
and he grew an afro.
She should have been a cyborg.
Yeah, he grew an afro.
He grew an afro, and he went bald, and he went grey.
I loved the boots and the sweater was why she thought she was a lesbian.
I mean, isn't that a genuine thought?
well, not
from
those boots and
From
that
an
sweater,
old,
I gotta be
out-of-touch
honest.
Jewish lady?
I guess so.
I mean, she was accurate about all the other things, so, I mean, she's wrong once. Give her a break.
Yeah.
You know, Sorab, give this woman a break.
Okay, fair enough.
And see, I thought this scene here was going to lead to, and then Harley comes in,
Yeah,
and
I
he's
thought
getting
he was
his
gonna show up
HIV
at-
meds.
Yeah, I thought he was going to show up at the pharmacy and she was going to have to like hide behind a wall.
Or then
something.
Bryce is going to be like,
Yeah, and then he'll realize.
revelation, but instead they use it in a tasteful conversation scene, you know. Oh, and there's this club. Here we are, Bartek.
This is a club? This is his house, isn't it?
No, because his house looks different when we get there at the end. See?
Okay, but it's not a club. Like
I think it's supposed to
this
be
is someone's house. There's art on the walls.
Yeah, I don't know, but then there's all these fireplaces. I don't know what this is. It's some kind of event where people are wearing no shirts and Harley's covered with white women.
It's a den of iniquity.
I thought this was a club too, but it almost looks like his house, just with a bunch of club lights.
But it's not his house from when we see it later.
No, it is, because that staircase behind him is what he
We'll
runs
keep an eye on it, but he is glistening some scales right now. I'm shocked. I thought this was a club, and I didn't realize it could be his house. But at the moment, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see him leaving. I want to see because
the door that
the
gets
door.
hit,
Yeah. I want to see this. I like how Harley doesn't even try. He's
I was
going to
say he was ready to kill the guy on the bike, but he's just totally
he's
cool
pretty
with.
wasted.
I guess so.
See, these poor people, they're just enjoying. No, I don't know.
I think it's his house. Man.
Let's remember the bricks.
Look at that, it's got a
and the
front gate. Come on, it's a house.
I mean, yeah, okay, it's a house, but I don't know. Is it his house?
Yeah,
we'll have to
it's-
pay attention
It's
to
definitely
this
his
later.
house.
I won't say no, but I just didn't remember his house's design being like
I
that.
will
But maybe the lights and the
I mean,
atmosphere.
yeah.
And
What-
this is
and
the first time
also Bryce seemed to know where to go to find her. So
well,
Yeah, that's
he
true.
had picked her up from the house, I guess. So maybe it is his
but,
house.
But yesterday when I was watching the film on my own in preparation, I was like, "Oh, he's going to a random club. Is he trying to hook up? No, he found her. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
How did he know
right.
she was here?"
Since we've all been in productions and acted in films and whatnot, have you ever had to cry on cue before, or cry?
I had to cry, not on cue.
What did you have to cry for?
Well, I cried in Uncle Vanya
Oh yeah.
at the end. I didn't have to. I just did.
Yeah. I say with cue because usually a film, you're like,
yeah,
you
you have to do it on cue. No, I've never had to do it on cue.
Okay, but
That's something I can't do. I can't cry on cue.
you've been an extra in the In Excess movie.
Yes, I was
Did you have to cry on cue when Michael Hutchinson choked himself?
No,
You did an
I was
Excess
just
movie? That's awesome.
no, just in an audience scene. I was stoically impressed.
Is that what the direction was?
He was playing
No,
Molly.
no,
he was playing Molly
it was just the
Meldrum.
thing I was doing. I did it with the guy we did the drama degree with too, Sean. No. I was just in a club. I was just like, enjoying it, but
Tears
like not
rolling
really
down
getting
his
crazy.
face.
I did a show once for university where I had to be overwhelmed by the fact that I had a lot of money. I guess.
You talking about our show,
Yes.
Soviet Western,
Yes.
where a character asked you, like, how much money did he give you, and you're like, so much money. That's not crying. I haven't had to do it either. Usually
Yeah,
I
I
get
really
don't get those
haven't.
roles where it's like you
No.
cry now. I don't get Uncle Vanya.
I have a friend who she can just, and a tear will come out of her eye.
Because
I get any villainous
I know
roles.
I know with productions and movies they have, if you can't cry, they give you the fake tears,
yeah.
the drops. Do you think these are real tears you had or drops?
I think
You're especially used to Sorab. You're more of a filmmaker than
I
yeah.
think they're a little too big to be real. I think they're probably drops.
But he's big, bold black guy. Maybe he's got big, bold black ears.
I think there's a Bollywood actor.
They could be real. They could be real. I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
those-
know how to tell the difference, honestly.
I think there was a Bollywood actor that once talked about how he used to just like press his fingers into his eyes for a bit to make him
To
tear
make
up.
them water.
Yeah.
My favorite is there's a whole episode of Boston Legal in which William Shatner's character, he's a smash, and it just smashes, and he just keeps going with the take.
It's professional. It's
He's
like
a-
when Leo cut his hand in Django and
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and everyone was still professional about it.
Fuck, that was so
Well, and he
brilliant.
improvised off of it.
And
too.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
rubbed it on fucking what's her name?
Kerry Washington's
Washington's
face, and she's just like,
Oh man,
Speaking of Washington,
such a brilliant scene.
you mean France?
that was the Lincoln Memorial, wasn't it?
Yes,
I
it
thought you were
was.
gonna say that was the link to the beginning of what you said, Ryan. I'm like, thank you, but
That
you
was
went,
the Lincoln to the.
you say it like the word link and then kin, like.
Because I was unsure.
Lincoln.
Like, is that
Lincoln.
the
Yeah,
Lincoln?
yeah, but he's saying it like, isn't that the Lincoln Memorial? And I'm like, no, you are unsure. It is. Lincoln statue's sitting there,
Yeah,
and he's
fine.
just like, my dick is big. That's what he's thinking.
That's what Lincoln's thinking.
Well,
in
by
that
default,
show.
he is a big.
It's huge.
statue,
That
so
statue.
It's
So
probably
yeah,
going to be a
it's-
big
it's-
dick.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was thinking about like with the tears. There's an episode of Boston Legal where William Shatner's character is trying to prove that he's a normal human who has emotions because he's William Shatner. He's an asshole, and he's like, I have to cry in front of her to make me seem real, but I can't cry. Like, my tear ducts are damaged from birth. I've been unable to cry my whole entire life. So they give him these tubes on his face that go towards his eye, and then they give him prosthetic makeup to cover the tubes, and he presses a little button, and it just looks like a hose coming out of his eyes.
Is it a comedy show?
Yeah, Boston Legal is a comedy legal show. So, for instance, you have instances in which his name is Denny Crane, and he's just like, every time he says his name, you have a musical sting. It's me, Denny Crane, and then you get that dun-dun kind of musical thing, and the camera kind of zooms in because he's epic. He's never lost a case. It's like, and he names his son Danny Crane, and they're the type of people who say their names all the time. He's like, hello, it's me, Denny Crane, and he's like, I'm Danny Crane, and then they have literally standing face to face going, Denny Crane, Danny Crane, Denny Crane, Danny Crane. It just becomes worse.
It's like an exaggeration of Percy Jones.
Oh yeah. And it's a very funny show. It's a very weird show. Like, it has its moments.
I didn't know Boston Legal was like that.
Oh, it's hilarious. There's a whole season in which his character gets mad cow disease because he eats a bad steak, and they have to they have to figure that out. So that's fun. He double parks.
Oh, of course, he's an asshole.
He's a lizard.
He's a lizard. Lizards don't care about.
I mean,
parking.
this is the sequence where he.
This
beats
is my
her,
favorite.
So of
This
course
is my favorite scene. By the way, when he meets the mum,
Oh, and they're in like.
Oh,
a
I'm
witch-
sorry. This isn't the.
They're in a
sequence,
witch
yeah.
circle.
they're in a séance.
Sounds, yeah.
Oh, the witch circle. Ah, yes, my favorite.
A review I'll read later calls it a sermon.
Oh yeah, it is. A sermon of sorts.
Sure.
It's a prayer.
Look
Yeah.
at. I love how happy he is when he sees them.
Oh,
just
he's like licking his lips. He's so thrilled.
chewing gum that's not in his mouth.
Yeah. Look at him. He's putting his glasses away. Look at that. He looks like the
Yeah.
guy from New Girl as well. One of the guys
Winston.
from... Yeah, he reminds me of the guy from New Girl, but just with that
Really?
cocky attitude he just did there. Like, in that moment, he reminded me of Winston from New Girl.
It's really funny.
But I really wanted him to, before she made her presence, I wanted him to walk in, sit down, and grab their hands and goes, "Can I join in, girls?" And then they would be like, "No!" and react or something. But instead, we have this in which the mum doesn't want to give a laptop.
Yeah.
An Apple laptop, might I add.
Mhm.
Because Tyler Perry likes apples.
Well,
Red
the
apple
snake,
car.
The snake and the
Snake.
apple.
And this is a great shot because who's got the laptop? And then he does. And then, Satan. Has any partner of yours, their mother, called you Satan?
No, I can honestly say I've never been called Satan.
Mother,
by
has
a
anyone ever
girlfriend's
called
mother.
you Satan?
No, my name's Bartek.
Classic.
Technically Bartłomiej, but you know what I mean.
I haven't been called Satan yet.
Yet you're holding out for it.
Well, it's always something to strive for.
Give it 3 minutes.
I love, for instance, he lightly pushed her down,
I know.
and then tried to get you bruised her knee, her jaw's out of whack, like you brutalized her. He didn't brutalize her. He kind of just pushed her. I mean, I know
He
she's
didn't
old.
even push her. He snatched the laptop out
And
of
she
her
fell over.
Which I'm not saying is right, but I'm just saying he didn't come on. If you're
It
gonna
wasn't
make,
the intent.
If you're gonna make a character
think-
evil, make him evil. Make him push her to the ground.
I love this where it's like, how dare you get up the stairs?
Yeah, I know.
I don't
And
know what that
she's like,
is.
I'll get up the stairs if I want to get up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm taking her side. Of course, there's no sides, man. He's looking intense. He's just like, mothers.
Also, did we know before this that his mum abandoned him
No.
in a crack house?
No, but now we do know, and
Right.
he's upset about it.
Yeah.
And
It
he's
was-
just like,
Subtle characterization.
and he needs his shit.
Yeah.
Do you think his shit is his HIV medication, or...
I thought he was he had anger issues and he needed a drug to calm down or something.
Yeah, or, well, we find out later he needs a drink to calm down.
Well, yeah.
And beating. Just beating women.
Mm.
Which was intense. This movie takes up the intensity levels. He's not afraid to be like, you know what? Men are despicable. Now,
Yeah.
one of the Tyler Perry tropes that I learned about from a lot of black reviews like Double Toasted is Tyler Perry's known for being a perpetrator of colorism, which is this, not purely racist, but when for instance, he's a black guy who's a light-skinned guy, and the good people in his movies tend to be more light-skinned people, and the bad people tend to be more dark-skinned black guys.
Really?
Oh yeah. That's a frequent thing throughout his
I
movies.
feel like Bryce and Holly are
Oh yeah,
same
but
skin
for
tone.
the most part, I'm saying
Right.
for instance, there's a movie that he did. I can't
Brandy
remember what it's
here, yeah.
called, where there's a movie that he did where it's like this woman has to leave her evil now going to be ex-husband. He's this dark-skinned black guy, and he gets killed by a car. And then the end of the movie is just like this woman's like, please, you got to meet this new guy, you know, like they're setting her up with a new guy, and you just hear this familiar voice. You see the back of their big bald head, light-skinned, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
No shit.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Dwayne Johnson.
I feel like that's probably less about light skinned and more about
but
let's
she
get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
But it's like in the movie. But like, no, I'm just saying
that's something he's been accused of. Whether
that's
it's intentional
that's something
or
of a
not.
trope of his.
Right, okay.
Whether it's intentional or not, but he does usually cast darker skinned black guys as the antagonistic figures and
Interesting.
lighter skinned black guys as the more romantic heartthrobs.
Interesting.
And stuff of that nature. He's been accused of that. He's been kind of seen doing that frequently throughout his movies. You know, it's kind of like how Tarantino is like a sexy, weird pervert because he likes feet.
He loves feet.
But yet again,
loves feet.
Tarantino in real life has not been accused of doing anything weird or sexual in nature. We just all assume he is because he likes shooting women's feet in movies. Even though he has said on the record that, he just shoots them. Like, he doesn't even say, I like shooting feet.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But we all know from just seeing movies, well, he's a weird sex pervert on some level, right? Or you watch a movie, Martin Scorsese is a Catholic.
Yes.
And stuff like that. You pick up these recurring ideas and themes and images and for good and bad, And Tyler Perry's had that one where it's like you keep casting
that's an interesting one.
dark-skinned black guys in your movies. I'm pretty sure that Terry Crews has been in a Tyler Perry movie.
I'm sure he has.
I wish... this is the place. It is his house.
It's his house.
Yeah, he turned to the right and everything, yeah.
Smack it down.
Wow, so it really wasn't a nightclub.
That poor guy lost his drink, though. Bartek and I are both, like, shocked that this wasn't a nightclub. We're like, what? I swore to you, Sorab, my copy that wasn't over 2 hours long like your parent copy wasn't a nightclub.
By the way, there's been nothing in this that wasn't in my copy.
You know what it was? You didn't finish the credits, you said, and the credits went for 20 minutes on your copy. They just slowed it down.
I guess so.
So
They thank Dailymotion.
okay, we didn't see... I can't remember. Did we see him beat her?
We saw him hit her.
Oh,
We
right,
saw a
yeah.
slap, but it was a
But
like
it
long
didn't-
shot.
Yeah,
and she hits the deck.
But we didn't see the full extent of what has happened here.
Yeah.
Now, here's what
No.
I worried about. In this point in the movie, we've been introduced to the fact that Harley has HIV, and he's infected his previous girlfriend and
Yes.
now her. I was worried, oh shit, is Bryce going to get HIV from, like, have they had sex? Or is he going to get it from touching her now when she's got blood all over her? Like, I was
think
kind of worried for Bryce. And then the story itself has the woman who's being told the story, is Bryce okay?
Yeah.
And the film kind of noticed, like, hey, is Bryce okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that was a good touch there because I was worried for Bryce. Like, I don't want him to get HIV.
I don't know that you can get it from just touching her blood.
If you have open...
I think he would also have to have an open
Oh,
wound.
yeah, or like,
their
I
blood
thought
would
he
have
could have been
to
stupid
mix.
enough to kiss or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know how movies work
Yeah,
where
yeah, of
people are
course,
stupid
of
in
course.
regards or whatever. But I was worried, like, once you introduce your former partner or your partner currently has HIV, you're like, oh no, do they have HIV?
Yeah, no.
I
Do they
was
have
more
HIV?
preoccupied by like, get out of there. What if he comes in? But
No, I personally like that he has the ability to escape, but then he comes back in there just to beat him up.
yeah,
I was more preoccupied with the fact that she got beat up and then changed her clothes.
Well,
She's in different clothes than she was when she got beat up.
she was getting changed when he beat
Yeah,
her
but
up.
he hits her. She's still in a leather jacket and jeans.
Maybe he
and
dressed
now-
her.
Well, those are the same pants. She just
Okay,
has a
fine,
sweater. She
but-
has a sweater on. I mean,
Well, that's,
if I beat you up right now and you took the sweater off, would people be upset?
I guess not. I don't know. I think
Look,
it
she was
just
cold.
Funny and strange. Okay,
It was cold, man.
I guess.
See, I found this a very interesting turn. Like, I didn't think that this
No,
would be...
see, I was waiting for this the whole movie.
Well, I didn't think this was in Bryce's character.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
But
Like, I
that's-
didn't
that's
feel
his
that
journey.
way. Oh,
He-
no, that is his
Because
journey.
he doesn't want to fight at the beginning
It
on the
does-
street, and then he does
Well,
at the end.
it's weird because you say that because at no point do I think that he has any animosity towards Harley until it's fully confirmed that she's sleeping around with him. Like when he first meets
of
him,
course.
he's fine with him. He actually thinks he's kind of cool. But
yeah,
then,
he's a trusting
but
guy.
I found this very strange. Like I didn't expect it from Harley. I don't know. I just thought he would be more like, okay, let's leave him, fuck him. But it's good. It gives you that
I
bloodlust
loved it.
sensation
Yeah, I
that
thought it
you
was
look
great.
for in a movie.
And
And also, again, worried that he was going to get his blood. he punched
Right,
him. I was
okay.
worried about blood. Like
It also, if we want to call this an erotic thriller, it also fulfills like the action climax trope. that
oh
they all
yeah,
have.
yeah. I was waiting for him to get up and like start grabbing the glass and slashing himself with it, like crazy shit like that, because that's what happens in these erotic thrillers. Like we watched a movie called Unforgettable where Katherine Heigl her face has been like scratched and she's like, I'm no longer beautiful, and then runs into her knife. Shit like that. So I'm pretty sure that they're about to change actresses from the storyteller, or is
Haven't
she
they
now
already done it?
changed?
I
She
think
has
she's
now
already done
changed.
it.
Because there's two different marriage
Is
counselors.
that confirmed though? Like, in
Oh
the
yeah.
like,
In the IMDb, there's another woman who's marriage counselor, and she looks like the woman that was in this movie.
Wasn't Rachel saying that the credits of the film itself don't have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but IMDb does, so that's what I go off of.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
So we are revealed. What did you guys think of these twists and turns of revelations that she's the storyteller and that she has HIV and now this and that and she's found God? What do we think about the revelations and twists?
I think this one would have been, because she introduces it by saying it happened to my sister. So this one would have been probably a little bit more surprising if we had ever met Judith's sister.
Throughout the
in
film,
the
I kept thinking to
past.
myself, like, and this is the counselor's sister, right?
Right.
There's been no mention. She
That's
seems
what I
to be a
mean, like-
single child, so
I was waiting for the moment where Judith is like this character is supposed to exist in the story. She's
Yeah.
saying this is about my sister, and he's when I come in.
Exactly.
so it was kind of like at some point, like, oh, maybe the marriage counselor is making a confession.
Now she's got a
here.
hair tie on the back, but
Yeah.
before she clearly had short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's stalking.
Yeah, she's talking. She doesn't look like she works there. Look at that outfit. That's not retail. She's wearing boots.
I guess.
Like,
No, she's got a name
if
tag
you-
on.
Fuck you. You know that she doesn't look like she works
No,
there.
she
Does she
doesn't.
even have a name tag? I can't even see a name tag. How old do you think they're all supposed to be now?
This is the question. I think it's
Has
like,
it been like 30 years?
no, 30's too much. It
But
looks
she's
like,
walking like she's like struggling
I
with
think
age.
that's meant to be the HIV is fucking.
How
with
come?
her.
How come Brandy looks fine?
She's not struggling with age.
I don't
She's
know.
struggling with AIDS.
Does HIV do that to you?
I don't think so. I don't know.
We have to
I don't
ask
know how.
Magic Johnson. He's still alive. He's had it for like 30 years.
Has he really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a joke on South Park where he just sleeps in a bed of money, and that's why he hasn't died or got
Yeah.
any major illnesses.
Money cures
That's
or subdues AIDS. That was the joke.
Yeah, I got confused. So this woman came in, and I was like, since they did a far away shot of Brandy, I'm like, oh, is this Brandy? And they've had a kid.
Yeah,
That's
right.
weird.
That is weird.
But then it isn't her. And like, oh, it's
Yeah.
another
No, it's
woman.
another woman.
He's grown his hair out for this.
You can't
Yeah.
have sex with an HIV person.
Well,
you
safe
can.
safe sex.
You
Safe,
can. It's
safe
just-
sex.
Yeah.
And now she's going to church, and we're going to watch her slowly walk.
So I didn't watch all of the credits. I watched till about here.
Well,
Do
you
we
missed
see
the-
her go all the way to church.
Oh yeah, and you missed the non. No, I wish there
Well,
was.
no, it's just a one shot, right?
Yeah, it's just a one shot, but we
Oh,
see
this was
her.
a stage play.
Oh, most of his based on his stage plays.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a thespian.
No, I knew that.
theatre
I just
writer,
didn't
yeah.
know that the movies were based
Well,
on his
if you
stage
stuck
plays.
around,
Well, yeah, I should have.
you bastard.
Apologize.
You bastard. So, Bartek,
Yes.
we're at the end. I think it's time for us to give our reviews and ratings of this film and final thoughts in general. I want to hear from you,
All right, Satan.
Satine.
I quite enjoyed this film. I thought, in fact, it was quite good. It wasn't what I was expecting, considering all these years of hearing about, what Tyler Perry films are like, and what his. I was about to just say the same thing again, but in different words. What his films are like, and I think maybe people should give him a bit more of a chance. Especially considering Gone Girl is such a huge thing. That there's a precedent there for people maybe, having a reason to check him out. Itself as an erotic thriller, yeah, it definitely sticks out from the bunch that we've done on the show. In that, yeah, there's a lot more of a religious message. There's a lot more no death. I mean,
No death.
you could probably guess that, maybe Harley died over the time skip, but, that's not confirmed. There's a lot to this film. It's a drama. There's some entertaining things in it, some good comic relief.
I agree.
from actors and just writing. You know, we always talk about on this show, especially you, Ryan, you know, written comedies.
Oh yeah.
Here's one that's an adaptation of a play. Maybe even, you know, we should check out the play at some point, see where it came from.
Maybe we should put on our own production. Sorab, you're the counselor.
I noticed on...
And Bartek, you're the lizard man.
Perfect casting.
And I'll be Kim
Satan.
Kardashian.
You'll be Kim Kardashian.
Also, Ryan, I noticed in the cast list in the credits and
There was a pal? Yeah, you're right.
in the cast list
Was
on the
Yeah.
in the cast list on the credits and on the cast list on Wikipedia, there's a person called Candace Koch credited as marriage counselor.
Yeah.
Could that
Yeah,
be?
that's the person.
There you go.
Okay, well then it is in the credits.
Thank
It's just
you.
not older.
My fiance was wrong. I'll tell her that.
Judith, sorry.
When I walk out of this studio, I'll just point at her and go, wrong.
That'll go down well.
Marriage over. It's a marriage counselor who got divorced and got a fucking HIV.
Yeah.
So Bartek, what else you want to hit us with?
Jurnee Smollett-Bell, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I give this film a... You know, I said that very confidently, but I have nothing.
And that's what he gives it.
I give this film nothing out of nothing, which is 100%.
That is true.
Well done.
Well, I have this to say about the wonder of this movie. I was surprised. It took me in directions that I didn't think that I would go in.
Twists and turns, yeah.
Twists and turns, but also it delves into the dark, deep, murky waters of the human psyche. And a lot of films are uncomfortable doing that, or they don't feel the need to follow through on it all the way. This film did. And it also delves into the part of cinema that I'm not as familiar with, which is the Christian side of things, the religious side of things, because this is a religious movie on a level. You know, and it delves into that and doesn't feel too heavy-handed. It feels like it exists in the world and it makes sense. And, you know, the God punishes her through HIV is very extreme, but that's Old Testament, baby. He would have turned her into a pillar of salt.
Yeah.
And I found this very enjoyable. If the film, I think the weakness of it is, if I had to give it any, is I think it could have leaned heavier into the melodrama that I think Tyler Perry's movies are more well known for. Like, I think it would have been great if he did grow wings at the end and horns and was like,
Oh,
I
it'd
am
be awesome.
Satan.
Oh, I would have
And
loved
it
it.
ended
Supernatural
with,
turn.
and a
be
supernatural turn would have been much appreciated.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
If I had to give this film a rating, which I do, I have to give it a out of good stuff.
It's high praise.
That's very high praise. Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian's not known for praise. Like,
No.
praising people.
No.
She's more known for crying picture. That picture where she's like,
Oh, yeah.
you know the one.
I know the one.
Objection, erection. Sorab, I want to hear from you.
I
Oh, look, Georgia, it's like a booty. Go on.
think it's, again, an apple.
No, that's not an apple. That's a peach.
Was it a peach?
And a peach is a symbol in emojis for booty.
That's true.
So you just got owned
I did.
by everyone.
I did.
The state of Georgia.
Fuck, I'm going to leave now.
And that's his review, people.
That is it. No, I enjoyed the movie. It was exactly like Bartek said. That's not what I expected from a Tyler Perry movie. Having never seen one before this, it's not what I expected. I was pleasantly surprised. And if I had to give it a rating, which I do,
What you do, and this is
I
also
would
a
give
very
it-
Perry production, apparently, which is
that what it
great.
said?
Yeah, yeah.
I missed that. I would give it a total of 3 out of 4 lizard people. Yeah.
So, Bartek, what did the internet have to say about Tyler Perry's wonderful creation from the mind of Tyler Perry? Can I just say something? The biggest, best crossover I want to see is Tyler Perry go on ghost adventures with Zach Baggins. Now that would be an episode of television to watch, where he's dressed as Medea, and he's like, "Oh no, there ain't no ghosts in here, Mr. Baggins," and he's just like, "Well, listen here, there's ghosts everywhere. My EP is going off the scale," and she's just like, "Oh no, not those ghosts! That's too much! That's too much!" And
Just
she's
to
just like punching ghosts.
Just to remind everyone, this is still Ryan's question to me.
No. I
Yeah,
said
exactly.
I said forget my question. I wanted to say this first, and my question was, what did the internet have to say?
I've got comments from YouTube, and I've got 2 IMDb reviews.
What did Roger Ebert think?
He died that year.
Did he?
Did he really?
Tyler Perry fucking killed him. Yeah, he still had a review for The Other Woman that came out the year
No,
after.
I'm sorry. It was someone else that gave it 1 out of 4 on his website. 'Cause-
Tyler Perry.
It's very weird. RogerEbert.com, but now all the reviewers are not Roger Ebert.
Because he is dead boy.
Yeah.
The first comment from YouTube is, if you trust your girlfriend, don't watch this film.
Because it'll make you not trust her?
Well, yeah, because they're cheaters
Right.
and hoes.
I interpreted...
Oh, they might have HIV.
That maybe.
Have you ever been wondering, has my girlfriend got
I-
HIV? Watch this movie to find out.
I interpreted the comment more like they'll realize what they're missing or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe.
Weird.
A movie every girl/woman should watch. I see a lot of hateful comments here about Judith. How she is an easy woman. Oh, sorry. How she is a easy woman. But after having a relationship of 19 years, people get used to each other. That's one word, each other.
Each other.
And how... and they take each other for granted.
Each other.
Just like he did. He forgot her birthday. He stopped giving her the attention she needs, the appreciation. That's spelled wrong, actually, appreciation.
Oh, good.
The affection, the protection, the motivation, etc.
Any other issues words there that they could use?
It ended on etc., so all of them, Ryan. And then someone appears who gives you the things you're craving for, the things you need as a woman from her...
As in capitals?
And their name is Tyler Perry.
As a woman from her man, and it can be deceiving. It's a temptation. So stop damn judging because, quote, you don't know until it happens to you. This movie is a goddamn lesson for everyone, because everyone is looking for excitement and passion, the feeling alive.
Oh, yeah.
And don't you dare to disapprove because you're lying to yourself. Have a wonderful day, smiley face.
Yeah, I had a wonderful day after reading that.
I did too.
I'm smiling now.
Yeah.
You're smiley facing. If she'd just talk to her husband, like have a sit down with no distractions, and she just talked to him about what's bothering her in the relationship, then they could have resolved stuff.
That's not her job.
But no.
It's not like she's a marriage counselor.
But no, have silent hatred towards him and keep telling yourself that you tried everything you could and then cheat on him because you're thinking you deserve better. Then karma hits you bigger than Kim and Nikki's butt sizes put together. Have fun.
Now, I have to say this. Perfect callback to the butts.
Yeah.
But here's my big problem.
What's that?
He forgot a birthday twice. Fuck him.
In a row.
Did you get it twice?
Yeah,
The
twice in a row.
previous year to
Oh, yeah,
when
that's
the
right.
story was set.
Twice in a row. Fuck him. Even the mum's like, boy!
Yeah.
Boy indeed.
Now, this comment feels like they have an idea of how this could have gotten resolved, but they haven't thought about a certain implication.
Oh, good. I'm worried, but I'm feeling good about it.
It's a very short comment. Yet another movie that can be solved with a threesome in 5 minutes.
That's fucking brilliant. That
Yeah.
is fucking, I love yet another.
but-
like, there's a host of movies out there that can be solved with a threesome.
Well,
A devil's threesome, too.
Oh.
Temptation.
Yeah.
But how's the mum involved?
Well,
Is
then that would be
she
awesome.
like... No, but is she like praying for them in the other room? Just
Well, yeah,
like,
'cause it's-
orgasm,
it's
orgasm,
It's
please.
a devil's threesome.
Oh yeah, she's exercising them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hit us with the next. Is this another YouTube comment?
Yeah, I got two more. One short one like
Tyler
it's
Perry
a
one.
bit
Got
longer,
it.
but not very long. Why did she leave her sexy man for that orangutan?
Lizard. He looks like a lizard.
He doesn't.
Orangutan.
He doesn't look like an orangutan at all.
Who does she think she's looking? Who do they think they're looking at? Oh yes, you know what they were watching. They were watching that Clint Eastwood movie where he's teamed up with an orangutan. You know the
Yes,
one?
that's what they were. I don't remember the name, but that's what they were watching.
They were watching that, and they're like, "Why is he teamed up?
Why is he leaving her sexy man for an orangutan?
Exactly.
And the final YouTube comment is,
Go on.
don't like TP movies, but this one had a good lesson for men and women.
I agree.
Men pay more attention to you are, ladies. Tell them you love M and never stop complimenting them.
Yeah.
Women, if you have a good man, leave him just cause of something small, cause this can happen always. So this can always happen. Now, excuse me, I have to go let my woman know how good she looked in her jeans.
And I'm the woman.
She's standing in front of a mirror.
No, you're the
No,
orangutan.
they're the guys wearing jeans, and they're like, "You're pretty, baby." And it's Tyler Perry putting on lipstick and his Medea wig.
And his Medea.
And you hit us with these IMDb. I imagine they're all positive. I imagine 10 out of 10.
Yeah, of course.
10 out of 10?
Well, you know how the 10 has the digit 1 in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first review is one of those.
Oh, you mean a 1 out of 1? Great.
It is titled, "Oh my god, did I really spend money to see this?" Question mark.
Wow.
It is from the 11th of March 2013 and
Whoa.
a 1 out of 10 review.
1 out of 1.
And I'll give you a warning. This review contains no commas.
Oh, they're going to say
Okay.
spoilers. I'm like, warning
Yeah.
spoilers. Calm down. There's
Spoilers
HIV in
after
this.
the movie.
Oh, we like to warn about spoilers.
Please, I would like my money back. Tyler Perry movies one expects to be entertained, have some laughs, and go home smiling. Nothing serious or mind-boggling deep-rooted drama. Kim Kardashian ruins this experience like no other. Oh, I'm wrong, there's a comma. Talk about wooden, can't speak, understandably nasals along, lifeless, and ruins the fun of going to see the movies. Please, there must be some consideration that for a family it is $80 a trip to the movies cost than to get put this inability of acting on the screen is pure fraud. I feel defrauded.
Jesus.
Do not go to see this. It is
Wow.
simply not worth the price of a DVD. Trash, pure trash, thanks to the casting of Kim.
I feel like
Wow.
I was defrauded.
I feel like Kim Kardashian got a really bad rap in that. She's in the movie for like 5 minutes.
But defrauded.
Yeah, of course.
The movie is a fraud.
The movie is a fraud.
Now you got a 10 out of 10, right? Because that one felt like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
This one is titled Disappointed.
10 out of 10.
It is from the 9th of April 2013, and it is 4 out of 10.
Oh, good.
Here
Wait, what was the date?
April 9th.
So, does that coincide with the holiday? The New
What?
Year's?
The
April 9th.
Zoroastrian one?
Oh, good God. I don't know what the date is.
Well-
Yes, sure.
Well, they were disappointed while celebrating it. Just wanted to check in with
Sure.
Sorab.
Yeah, no,
I
that was
didn't want
me
to feel
writing
him
it.
excluded.
That was me writing it. I spent my New Year's Day that year watching this movie and I was disappointed.
But you've gotten over it.
I've
at the
gotten
end of
over
the
it now.
decade.
Yeah.
Here is a brief list of what I found to be some of the main flaws of this film. 1. First of all, I know it's been said in some of the other reviews before me, but the husband, Bryce, Lance Gross, should have played the Harley character. The guy who Judith has the affair with and Harley, Robbie Jones, should have played the husband. I just did not find the guy playing Harley to be attractive at all, so I could not get into this idea that a woman would go for him that easily. Point is, if you're going to make a movie about someone having an affair, at least make the temptation tempting.
Right.
By the way, on YouTube, a lot of the comments had that same notion going on, so I guess it's not unique to this review.
Was that the end of the review?
No.
I was
That's,
gonna say.
it's a list, remember?
Oh yes,
I
it's
only
a list.
I listed
That's the
number
first
one.
one.
All right, go on. I'm prepped.
Number 2. My next problem with this film was that the characters were well developed, but it took most of the film to get this done, which ended up leaving about 30 minutes to really get the action going. Basically, Judith gets involved with this guy, starts doing drugs, and leaves Bryce all in the last minutes of the film. I agree with the development of characters in a story, but we already know from the trailer that this is a movie about a woman cheating on her husband. Just get to the point.
How dare the movie be a movie
I
that has
know.
a 3-act structure and typical writing for character development and arcs? How dare it?
Ryan.
I want it to be completely incomprehensible, with no growth and no direction. In fact, the first 5 minutes should have been her cheating, and then the rest of the movie, just that scene on a loop.
Just a
Ryan,
fuckfest
I
after.
think point 3 will really turn you around.
Turn me on, more like.
All right, let's hear it.
3. This next reasoning I have was sort of my fault.
Oh, okay.
But I still have
I'll blame them too.
But I still have to say that I do not want to hear a Sunday morning service when I go to the movies. And I should have known from previous Tyler Perry's films and plays that he does put in
They've seen the fucking plays. They've seen the fucking.
They've seen the plays.
They've seen not only the movie.
They've seen the plays.
They've seen not only the movie. They've seen the fucking plays.
They've gone to all
And
the
then they're
plays
still
and then
surprised.
saw the movies coming out and they're like, oh, maybe it'll be different.
Maybe there won't be a
It's
sermon.
made by the same guy, written and directed by the same guy. Maybe the movie will be different to the plays.
Oh, it's like the plays and the movies beforehand, where there's Christianity
This
involved.
person is very self-aware though, because they did say at the beginning, maybe this is my fault.
But I still think I need to.
4.3.
yeah, exactly.
But I still think I need to point it out anyway. Go on.
And I should have known from previous Tyler Perry's films and plays that he does put in a bit of his Christian beliefs into
bit.
his work.
bit.
But this film was
Tiny.
so over the top in that area that it was borderline offensive.
I didn't even think it was that over the top in
It's
that
not
area.
that over the top
I mean,
at all.
it's a bit heavy-handed at points, but I don't think it's that over the
But
top.
even when it's heavy-handed, I don't think it's heavy-handed in religious terms.
Or even in the wrong places to put it.
yeah, exactly.
It's not like this having sex, and then she goes, wait a moment, I can't. I believe in Jesus.
yeah, exactly.
Or something. Like, okay, whatever. Crappy third point. It's your fault, person.
Yeah, I agree.
4. Finally, I just have to say that if you think giving someone a sexually transmitted disease at the end of every film you make is the best way to get your audience to connect with your characters / story, then you have so much to learn. This is not only insensitive, but shows a lack of creativity and growth as a writer, director, and producer.
Well, I'm glad.
Does he do that often? Apparently, I guess.
According to this person who's
guess.
seen the plays and films.
That's true. They've seen it. Yeah, that's right. This person has seen everything Tyler Perry has done, so we should take their word for it.
Why was it like this?
Yeah, exactly. So, we're at the end of the episode, unfortunately. What?
No,
Or have you finished? Have you
No,
not
I'm done,
finished?
I'm done.
What are we all giggling about?
I was just giggling about that review.
Yeah, oh,
it's like
well,
it's like going to a Tarantino movie and being like, oh,
There
it's
was-
too violent.
Why is it like an auteur
For fuck's
film?
sake.
why is Tim Roth here?
Yeah, like
Yes, unfortunately, we're at the end of the episode. Bartek, pleasure. Sorab, a pleasure.
Thank you
Now,
for
I have
having
something
me.
to say, Sorab.
yeah.
Jason Statham.
What about him?
Sexy, bold actor who's allowed to have romantic relationships.
They're all allowed to have romantic. I'm saying okay, but
He's a
name,
heartthrob.
name the rom-com that he is the lead in.
You didn't say rom-com.
Okay, name the romantic movie that he is the lead in.
Very easy. It's, what's that movie where he has to get electricity?
Oh my god, what's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's one word. What's it called?
It's something high voltage, right?
Crank.
Crank, high voltage. He's allowed to have a romantic relationship in that movie to the point in which when they have a sex scene at a race course, a
Don't they have a
racetrack.
in the first one, they have a sex scene just like on a cop car in the middle of
No,
the
no. What I was
street.
saying was in the second one, he has sex with the lady on a racetrack, and a horse jumps over them, and the horse has a massive erect dick.
I haven't seen that one.
No,
I haven't seen the second one. I've only
Crank
seen the
2,
first. I've seen
Crank
the
2
first
is
one.
better, man.
Is it?
He has to get like a car battery and hook it up and put it on his tongue. and
I
he's like,
remember the poster.
"Ah!"
I remember the
It's
poster.
so good. You haven't lived to see Craig 2
Okay.
high voltage. So
right.
there you go. That's an answer. I'm sure that he has romantic love in the new Hobbs and Shaw movie that they're making.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Where
too.
him and it's The Rock, yeah,
Yeah, DJ.
have to fall in love with Idris Elba.
That's easy to do.
I mean,
Elba's
I'm
a
in love.
dreamy man.
Let him rip me apart. So, Sorab, thank you so much for being here
Thank
to
you for having me.
hear me question if Idris Elba should rip me apart. Should he?
I agree with you.
I think
he
he should.
I agree with you. I think he should.
Bartek, a pleasure, as always. May
Thank
the
you,
Lord
Satan.
be with you.
Thank you, Satan.
Christ, you got to get to church, boys.
Yeah.
We're on all the social media platforms, people, except for the ones that we're not. We're just on the Facebook and Twitter, so that's all of the ones we're on.
You're not on Instagram?
Nah.
Yeah.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
Do you do anything on Instagram that's worthy of my listening people to hear?
Is that
Yeah,
Mark Zuckerberg's
I have
website?
Yeah.
at prime.comic.official. That's the
Oh.
comic book that I'm creating. Go check it out. It's pretty cool.
Oh boy, you better have Tyler Perry in it. So
It does. He's the hero. He's the superhero.
Is it going to end with sexually transmitted diseases punishing a woman for cheating?
I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh,
Don't want to
that's
spoil
not
it.
a yes.
Don't want to
that's not
spoil
a
it,
no.
but it's definitely not a no.
No, it's not a no. It's not a
so-
yes either, though.
Yeah, guys, we're on all the podcasting platform sites, the ones that have available abilities to rate and review us. Do it. Be the champions of the day. It's what Tyler Perry would want you to do. He's
would.
like, oh boy, you better give them a 5-star review and say, get to church and
Is that
stuff like
Tyler
that.
Perry or Medea?
Well, he is Medea.
Well, he plays Medea.
Well, no, he is
Okay,
Medea.
he is Medea. Okay.
They're inseparable.
Right, of course.
They're like joined.
They're
like
together.
they're one.
They're one.
They're
They are
like,
one.
you know, when a twin eats another
That makes
twin
well,
in
no,
the,
but just
in the womb.
I was curious because that makes his performance in Gone Girl even better.
Oh,
if
it's
he
even more
is
surprising.
Medea.
He's
It's
actually
even
he's
more
actually
incredible.
like, whoa! It's so surprising. Like
Yeah.
they had to ask him, put the gun away, please, because
Yeah,
Medea's
yeah.
always grabbing out guns. Until next time, listening people, remember to go to church, but also be kind to each other.
Now we have to do the preview for the next episode.
Oh yeah, what do you want to do? I don't even know what are we doing? Preview?
Maybe give us some lines that are going to be in the next episode, maybe?
Oh, and I have to. Oh god, I have to remember that for next week. Hello, listening people. It's me, Rylicious.
Wow, I'm very hungry.
Nom nom.